Hey y'all. Y'all like that song? I think it's very telling for right now. Hey y'all. Good afternoon, Shada. It's so many books. Look at our shelf, y'all. We've been going through all kinds of stuff. It's books everywhere right now. Like every freaking space. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon and evening and morning. Hey, depending on where y'all are in the world. Because I say good morning, and then somebody will come in that's on another continent and say good evening or good morning or whatever. Hey, y'all. What Let me make sure I got This just died as soon as I tried to get on here. There we go. Good. I just want to make sure before I sit down. It's a little chilly in here. It's been storming and raining. What about where y'all at? What's this been doing over there? I need to eat something. I've been running around today. Hey Jen. I don't know. This is supposed to go this way, right? But it don't. Hey everybody. It's hot where you at, girl? No. Well, it's warm outside. Like it's a summer spring kind of day. If that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. What? What are you talking about, Mr. Hardy? You just typing crazy stuff already? We ain't even been here 2 minutes. Yes, it's live. Yes, it's live. Raining and hot in Florida. Right, Deja. It's kind of like I don't really know. It's two seasons in one for sure. 2 seasons in one. It's warm, but I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it actually. These need to go back up here. You said thank you, Lord. You've been catching up because they don't tell you I'm live until 3 days after I'm live. I get it. The frustration of it all. Hmm. The frustration of it all. I understand. I was live and was sitting on my toilet earlier and didn't even know I was live. I said, that's interesting. I am. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm live from 3 days ago. Hello. It's wild that they do that. Hey, Pumpkin. You said you're working in a shop today, so I will be listening. Hey, what y'all think about these last classes? Who remembers us talking about Mount Vesuvius? Who remembers us talking about Mount Vesuvius? Thank you, Pumpkins. I appreciate y'all. Y'all remember, didn't we just talk about Mount Vesuvius? We looked at pictures and everything of Mount Vesuvius. And now they talking about it's smoking. I don't know which part of it, but now they talking about Mount Vesuvius. What? Hey, I said we just talked about. We just literally. Yeah, cause we was looking in one of our very old books, and it's pictures of Mount Vesuvius in there. We studied about that recently in the last month for sure, cause I've been home a month. So in the last month for sure, we studied about that, and I seen something on TikTok about it yesterday. He said I was up at 7 a.m. Listening to class in the shower, and they knocked me out of class, put me into another one. I was creeped out, so I hurried up and got out. I see they keep doing that. They keep doing that to a lot of people. People been trying to get in here, and they'll just flick them out of class and put them in a whole nother live. I don't know. They don't want y'all to come to class. I think that's why God let us have classes for so long, in the beginning because he knew we wasn't gonna have a lot of time at the end. Interesting. Interesting. That is crazy. Not you got spooked and got out the shower, girl. I need to make me some coffee, but I don't. Ain't nothing in here. But I'm too jittery. I made it too strong earlier. So, hey, I'm gonna let everybody get in here because I know they don't be telling y'all we here, we live or nothing. Tis what it is. They gonna do what they gonna do, and I'm tired of trying to fight about it. You said yes, they did that to me yesterday. I was like, this is not CERCA, right? Do y'all believe that they don't want us to talk? They know who we are, believe it or not. He said, been doing me so bold lately. He said, not getting no notifications, a whole class late. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you. I know. But the cool thing is, I told y'all all of this was gonna happen in the beginning because they was doing this to me on other social media that I had prior to this. That's how I got over here. I told y'all. They been knowed you, girl. You said, yeah, so true. Seeing it in other lives, you said, I will never be interested. I mean, this is the thing. It's a lot of information being pushed right now, good and bad, right? You can take something from all of it. I gotta close this door a little bit. It's a little chilly. I know it's gonna get hot probably very quickly, but that's fine. Just gonna push that door up just a little bit. It's all right. The cool thing is, I'm just grateful that we got to have a very peaceful time in this last 4 years learning. You know, I know. Hey, sister. Hey, hey. We just in here talking. We ain't been in but about 7 minutes. Ain't nobody. I figure we'll wait because they're not alerting folks to our arrival on social media, and so then, because I want to talk to y'all about something that I thought about. And it's something so freaking simple. And I want to show y'all how they played in our face a longer time. Would you like to know? We gonna wait till we get it to about 10 minutes and then I'm gonna share it with y'all. And if you want to go, you said let me blow the whistle. Okay, thank you. If you want to go down a rabbit hole with me, do y'all like the rabbit holes we've been going down lately? Do they make your toes wiggle? Yeah. Don't type that no more, Mr. Hardy. They used to tell us don't let your right hand know what your left hand doing. Hey, Kayla. Thank you. I can't remember who sent these to me. Somebody did. It's our thing in there, and you know I love y'all. So if it's, we have a lot of love here at WOIU, and our tree is in there, so it works out. And they match my Tom and Jerry orange. You know what I mean? My little Dollar Tree that I didn't cut up. So we doing something a little bit. I had to leave the house, and I said you don't have to leave the house looking like you be in the house all day every day. So then I said, well, I'll put on a little bit of nothing. Still have my slides on, still have some sweats on. It is what it is. Yes. You said, yes. Nice feel cozy in these holes we going through. You said very exciting. Listen. Okay. So we gonna wait till we get to about 10 minutes. We got a few more seconds. And then we're gonna time and date. I already know I don't have to say that. Hey, one love. I already know I don't have to say that for my peoples because y'all already know what the deal is. We come in here and as soon as we get in class, we write down the time and date because we don't want to forget nothing. Even though menopause brain got me triggered right now, but it is what it is. Y'all know what I mean. So, I do want to ask, uh, hey nephew, hey, that's all you gotta do. Um, it's been a lot of strange fruit showing up on trees, right? That's not what we're gonna talk about, but I'm gonna put that out there. the warning, the portent that came. Did y'all see they found another young lady? It's a lot of strange fruit showing up on trees. Okay? A ton. Okay? So, the warning that came forth in 22, 23, specifically in 24 going into 25, is a real thing. Okay? Your young adults need to have some type of camera that's not on their phone, not on their watch, that can be put in a pocket and send some type of signal or something. Another one. And the lady wasn't even that old. This was just like the day, yesterday or the day before, maybe 2 days ago. They found a young lady. So just be mindful of knowing as much as you can of the whereabouts of your family members. Also, y'all know our mod, right? The lady that prints a lot of our t-shirts and stuff like that. She sent me some photos that I want to share with y'all. Crazy. All through her city. All through her city. You want to know what's crazy? This van kind of looks familiar. And I'm not gonna show you the other ones, but several of people pulled over in handcuffs every day, everywhere in the city that she lives in. And it's not being broadcast on TV. They tried to target my sister a few days ago. Thank God she was in a public place, working on getting more of those as we speak. Interesting. Mm-hmm. It was a van chasing an old girl to the bridge, wasn't it? At the end of Thief in the Night. In a helicopter, like a drone. And then remember, on that building, there was a name. Remember. Okay? It's a lot to do with a lot that's going on just right now. Okay? It's funny because people are starting to post that movie now. Have y'all seen it? On TikTok. A lot of people are posting different parts of that series that we watched. Prodigal Planet or whatever it's called. Thief in the Night and all of that. I said, that's interesting. Very. A strange vehicle of men running around with masks on talking about. Listen, it's crazy. It's real crazy. Okay. Real crazy life right now. Now, that was just random conversation. Just putting bugs in your ear. What I do want to talk to y'all about is patriarchal versus matriarchal societies. Right? Hey, Pumpkin. Y'all ready? Huh? Tell me when you're ready. I'm waiting on y'all. Okay. I need you to write down the word patriarch. Hey, sister. Hey, y'all. I need you to write down the word patriarch. And then. I did, Michael. We talked about it, nephew. And so now you know Auntie wasn't lying when she was telling y'all about all the weird stuff that was going on around here, huh? And why I told y'all, I ain't gonna be doing too much of that ripping and running. And I gotta be very careful about a whole bunch of things. And folks was trying to make it like I was doing too much. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I knew way back when they was messing with sauce. You hear me? I said, oh, okay, let me go and mind my business and sit on down and find a new way to say things. You said, I knew you were telling the truth. Listen, it's a real thing, nephew. You trying to tell y'all. That's why I say, yeah, no. I'm cool. I'll be right where I be and not do too much. Hello. Because as soon as, never mind, we gonna move on. Okay. Hey, be careful. You said you just got off work. Be careful. Okay. On your way home. Now y'all understand why the meet and greets got cut out. Because we don't know who was going to be showing up and stuff. Okay. So, Patri. And then arc. I need you to define Patri. Patri on one line. And then arca or arc on the next line. And tell me what you see. Please. I think it's going to blow WOIU people's mind, but maybe not. I don't know. Could not. Who knows? Tell me something good is what I need you to do. Patri or patri, what does that mean? Patri. What's going on with that? Can you tell me? What does it mean? What y'all got? I'm gonna have to go get some more coffee. I was trying not to. After that, I'm probably not gonna. A combining form meaning father. Father. Okay. Can you look up Arcas? Arkas. And tell me what you see. Oh, the prefix meaning father. Got it. Arcas. Arkas. Please. Or Archas. Excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. Archas. Not K. We're going to get there. Archas. What y'all got? What do you see? Right, Justice. You see it. And I ain't even got my glasses on. You see it? Who else see it? I said, oh, they've been playing in our face for a very long time. Archas. What does it mean? What does that mean? Tell me. Right. Plural or inflected form of arc translates to rulers, principalities, or beginnings. Your father is a ruler or principalities or an archangel? What? Your father Is a ruler or a principality? Girl, they've been playing in our face. Now I'm going to go make my coffee. Primordial being. Interesting. In apocryphal texts like Second Enoch, Arcas, or Arukas, interesting, Arukhas, appears as a cosmological primordial entity representing darkness alongside light. Representing darkness, like they used to be lights of being, but lights and dark, like the good angels and the bad angels is fighting. Interesting. This is all very interesting. Is it interesting to you? Beginning, origin, or first principle? Is it interesting to anybody? Just say yes a little bit. Yeah. Did they play in our face or no? Just gonna take the wig off. You starting off quick? Oh, okay. You got me in the shower about to fall. Sorry, sister. Be careful. You know we gonna have to put one of them poles in there in a minute. We can get in and get out and hold on to. And just be careful now. Do you see it? You said, "In God we trust, light and dark." Uh-oh. Is that why the patriarchal society is pushed so heavily because we're in their realm? Hey, is that why? Yin and yang. Okay. Hey. Huh. Tell me they didn't play in our face. You told me your daddy was an angel? The patriarch? Come on, y'all. Interesting, because I seen a vodka commercial with RK. Interesting. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ain't that crazy? Real crazy. Their fathers were principalities and rulers or beings from the beginning. Interesting. The patriarchs of the Hebrew people or the Israelites, we said they were what? They had angelic DNA. And we knew this because, excuse me, when Cain's line mixed with Seth's line, we already know first generation off the rip what Cain's daughters was on. Right? Or no? Huh? We done read for ourselves. The Cain's line mixed with Seth's line. This is how we got Samson. Y'all think they just had supernatural powers for no reason. I don't know if y'all know Jacob's sons fought giants and they won. And it wasn't because they was little. They were old, big, strong enough to pick up a bear full size and throw it over a cliff. They could run as fast as gazelles. Pick them up while running and rip them apart. I don't know no natural men that could pick up a gazelle. First of all, run as fast as the gazelle, then pick it up and rip it apart while he's still running. I mean, and these are real stories. Okay? Interesting. I'm gonna try my hardest. You said not to start braiding my client hair extra hard. Don't do it. 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 Absolutely not. Don't do it. Don't do it. Be nice to your client. Is anybody else's feet? You said please leave that lady edges. Right. Right. Y'all asking questions. Listen, here. Focus on what I'm saying. Can you please? If I start asking people about their social security numbers and stuff. Right. Focus. This is why we don't come on TikTok no more. Folks on TikTok, they don't be focused. Okay? Here, Mr. Hardy. Because I can see. You just made me break my thing. Mr. Hardy, focus. Oh no, I just broke my thing. I pulled this out for you. And I done broke the. Pay attention. Okay. Y'all ready? Is everybody focused? Do I need? I'm about to go make me some coffee. Do y'all need a couple minutes to say all your heys and hellos and all of that kind of stuff? Yeah. Because I can go make me some coffee and take that 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Hardy. Okay. You said there are stories about the First Nation. People have stories about giants running down buffalo and picking them up while they run made the buffalo look like cats. Interesting. Now that's the kind of stuff I need to hear from you. Did y'all hear what y'all uncle, Mr. Hardy, said? He said there are stories about the first people that lived here running and catching buffalo and picking them up like cats. Now, why is that relevant to our studies? Anybody know? Oh, CERCA. Ah! You just be doing stuff. So you just gonna break everything today? That's what you gonna do? Didn't I tell y'all I be breaking stuff? I done broke the globe, y'all. Sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. Does this screw in? Y'all, how you break the globe? Oh, Lord. I need my screwdriver. Oh, no, I'm gonna need a different bit. I don't even... Hold on. Just breaking stuff. Well, that's not a... Anyway. All right. We read about their strength. We do. No. Just focus. That's all. All the extra, we don't need it today. We just go focus on where we're going. That makes me look sad. Whatever. Okay, where was we at before all of that? Patriarchs. Okay. Who remembers me telling y'all that a lot of the kings that the Israelites or the Hebrews end up going up against were giants? Who remembers this? Remember, we talked about the book of Kings being very important. The wars that were going on in the beginning of the Bible. They're very important because most of those wars were fought by people that were giants. We already know that the regular people that was on, you said like on 300 when they fought that giant man and his people with all the gold on his body. Yes. Yes. That, you know, that's supposed to be the story of Gideon, right? Did you know that? 300 is supposed to be the story of Gideon, where God told them when they lap down, when they go down and lap like dogs. Yeah, yeah. Remember, it was 300. If I'm not mistaken, it was 300 men that Gideon took with him, or something like that. Or maybe it was 100. I don't know. Of course, they changed, but that's supposed to be the story of Gideon. If you look at the time, if you go read Gideon, at the story of Gideon, and then watch it, you'll see it. The past that they had to go to and everything. That's the story of Gideon. Because basically, it was like the ones that lap like a dog or bring it up to their mouth. I can't remember how it went, but yeah, it's supposed to be the story of Gideon. Yeah. I keep trying to tell y'all 99.9% of the stuff that we watch, only because we don't read enough into other stuff to know that they're selling us the Bible. Like, some of y'all might not have been here the other day. Everything in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, most of that is Bible too. Even the map, if you can go get a map of Middle Earth, it's literally the Middle East and Northern Europe, and then like and the names are, a lot of them are just backwards. Like even the people that are from Uruk, the orcs, it's Uruk. That's ancient Mesopotamia. That's the city that Nimrod started. One of them, he started Uruk, and a lot of people in the Bible were in Uruk and in They just play. You said I got mine today. I'm looking at it. They play. Oh, you looking at it right now? Ain't that crazy how they play in our face? Oh, you got the map of Middle Earth played in our face. Played in our face. Oh, and then get your map books out, and then you gonna see something. Especially if you got the Celestial Atlas or Great Maps, the Great Maps book or the Celestial Atlas book, you definitely gonna see something. Because the Celestial Atlas is a lot of the old maps, and that Great Maps show a lot of them old. Tell me if we talked about this. I said, ready?
What's up, America? 2,000-year-old ancient Egyptian airplane that nobody can explain. So archaeologists have discovered a small wooden object in Saqqara that looks like an airplane. So what I'm about to show you is an airplane figure that was discovered in the sands of Saqqara that's approximately 3
Okay, come on.
No, it looks surprising. Toy or Archaeologists are saying that this is just a toy or a representation of a bird, while other people say, no, it looks surprisingly like an airplane or some type of aerial device or even some type of aircraft that could carry people. Now, apparently the design is not random, and it follows aerodynamic principles surprisingly well. So is this just a coincidence or some art?
Who remembers us looking at the hieroglyphs and there was airplanes on there? And they tried to say that's not what it was. And I said, where did all of these old aerial maps come from if planes and whatever else flying devices didn't get here to the 1800s, 1700s? How were all of these old maps that we look at? They're aerial maps. That doesn't make any sense. They found the Nokia, right? but it was ancient Phoenician writing on it, and it was our exact Nokia that we had. And that was before AI. They've been and found that thing. If the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun, what does that mean? We already know that they had iPads already, because the Wicked Witch of the West, or whoever it was, could say mirror, mirror on the wall, just like we do with Siri, and boom, she could see whatever she wanted to see, listen in on conversations and everything. We already know that they had watches, right? Because I got one up there, the solar dial watch. We know that they had those. We know that they understood portals and time travel. We know that the pyramids are not just cute little things to look at, they're power plants. We know that they understood or used chemistry. Okay? Hey, you said, or if just people couldn't fly. People couldn't fly. Right. You said hi the other day when YouTube was acting up, you went somewhere else. Where's about it's we're on Substack. Yep. Well, we know people flew because clearly they had wings, right? And if they are the patriarchs, who got your book of the bee? Anybody got your book of the bee? I don't know if I put mine up or not. Y'all got y'all book of the bee? I don't even got my book of the bee. Where is it? There it is. You got yours. Good job. Can you go over to the angels on page 15? So it says the angels consist of 9 classes in 3 orders: upper, middle, and lower. Right? The upper order is composed of cherubim, seraphim, and thrones. These are called the priests, or chief priests, or bearers of God's throne. The middle order is composed of lords, powers, and rulers. Remember that. Lords, powers, and rulers. Okay? These are called priests as well, right? The lower order consists of principalities, archangels, and angels. Okay? So we got seraphim, cherubim, right? We got thrones. That's 3 different types of angels there. Seraphim, cherubim, and thrones are 3 different types of angels. And then we have lords, powers, and rulers. And then we have principalities, archangels, and angels. Hey, Pumpkin. So if you wrote down the meaning of Arcus, what's the book? It's called the Book of the Bee. The Book of the Bee. You can find it online real quick. If you type in the Book of the Bee, it's there. So, on your list that you wrote down for Arcus, are any of those angels listed in the end meaning of patriarch? Because literally, patriarch means my father is an angel. Or my forefather was an angel. Why did they use that word? Or a divine being? Tell me. Could this be why humans now are so obsessed with genetics? No, I would show you, but I can't on TikTok. That's why we don't come over here no more, because they'll give me a thing. I don't show books on here no more. You said, do we do intercession prayers? Yes. Yes, we do. Intercessory prayer, we do. But intercessory prayer is just you praying for another person. Like, if you mean like prayer requests, you can email those or wait until we're a little bit like almost in, like at the end of the class. And then if you need prayer, we don't pray on here, but we send up prayers for everybody. Okay. Yes, but can you? Yes, you can. Can you email me at TrovaCircle22 what the issue is, and then we will definitely pray for you as a whole. I don't have to tell everybody what the issue is. Okay. Okay. Trova, TROVA, CERCA, CERCA 22 at gmail.com. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. Again, patriarch. Where's that going? Patriarch. They basically let us know my father was an angel, right? So while I go make my coffee, can y'all do me a favor? Go look up some of the first kings. Okay, whether it be look up in our Bible the king, and then look up the king that they were going against, and see if you can find out where the king that they were opposing came from. Can y'all do that? Because they were always going up against some kings, right? Even like Abraham, them, Moses went up against kings. Go look and see where those kings came from. If there's a city listed or a country listed, go and look up where whoever was opposing the Hebrews, okay? Go look up where that king was from. And once if it gives you a name, right? Then look up and see if you can find the names or the lineage of the king that was opposing the Hebrews. Can you do that for me? That's the task for today. Okay. Y'all got me? Okay. So find anybody that was going up against the Hebrews in Kings. Okay. Find out who were the opposing kings. Yes. Yes. And then do your research just real quick. It don't gotta, y'all know, I know y'all gonna do that later on. But just find out anything you can about either one of those kings that's listed there. If they weren't, well, we know that they weren't like Hebrew kings because they were opposing them. So find out who their family, like if it shows you their bloodline, who their parent does, if it lists who their uh what you call it, who their bloodline is, family, anything. Find out. Write down the names. Okay? It's important. Thank you. Thank you. It's very important because again, we always read the Bible from only the Hebrew point of view, right? And even before they were Hebrews, because they weren't always Hebrews, right? They were just these groups of people, and then they became the Hebrews, who then became the Israelites. We know that. But prior to that, there were interactions with all sorts of people, and we don't really ever go and study that except to know how God conquered those people. But I think it's important because, again, if the word patriarch means this person's father is an angel, a principality, a ruler, or a being that's not from here, it would make more sense as to why when the Israelites were getting ready to go into battle, they were sometimes afraid. God got angry at them because they were not going into battle with regular men. They were going into battle with hello. They were going into battle with superhumans, which we know that to be the case, but I don't think we really pay attention to, other than the main ones we know, right? Nimrod and all these different people that were going up against, uh, that had angel DNA. Okay, I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna give me some water. I'll be right back. Okay, what y'all come up with? You said King Agag, who Saul was at war with, the Amalekites, descended from Amalek, a grandson of Esau. Amalek's father was Eliphaz, firstborn, and his mother was Eliphaz's concubine. Interesting. Haman was a direct descendant of Agag in the 16th generation, and consequently an Amalekite. And we know the Amalekites were giants. He was a prime minister of the Persian king Assyrius. He got another name too. I can't think of his other name, but he actually goes by another name as well. That king, I have it written down. You said Mesha was a Moabite king. We know Moabites were giants. They were closely related to the Israelites, with their ancestral founder being Moab, right? Being the nephew of Abraham, their national god was Shemos. We just looked him up. You said Elgon. Interesting. We know that the Amalekites were giants. The Zamzuman. I don't even know where that paper is anymore. It might be in my room. Hold on. See if we can find the list that I wrote. I think I had y'all write it down too when we first got here. Who remembers that? I had y'all write down the names of. I listed all of the races of giants that were listed in the Bible. Do y'all remember that? I know I'm gonna pay for this, but right now my feet is cold, so I'm just turning this little heater on. Because my feet is cold. He was a king of Moab. Elgon was. That's interesting. Very interesting. And the Moabites were giants. Hey, Mr. Blackwater. Okay. Y'all know I got a list. Ooh! With them on there. I'm about to look real quick and see if I can find it. Because I think I put it somewhere, so I did not lose it again. Ruth was his daughter. Interesting. Give me 1 second. I've been looking for these. I might not have had to go too far. Hold on. Y'all remember that book, The Truth About the Christian Religion? Has a lot of information in it. Like right here. Boom. Okay, I'm going to get to this. Focus, sir. Okay. Because that's actually information we need. Give me 1 second. Because on one of these rip little scripture pages, I wrote down all of the giant, what's the names? It's important because then we will know whose fathers were giants and or they at least came out of that line. Look, these don't make us have to look through all of these to find it. Give me 1 second. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting close. sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Because then we could just go through and look at how many interactions they had with those people. Where is it? I know it's a ripped page. I hope it's even over here. I don't even think it's in this one. Hold on 1 second, y'all, because I want to. Do y'all know the list is going to be in the beginning of when we started here? Maybe y'all got y'all access to y'all's. I'm looking for mine, but I know it ripped out of the. I thought it ripped out, but maybe it didn't. Okay. Ooh. That's making me a little sad. I know it was the Zamzoomin. I don't know. I used to know most of the list by heart, but I don't remember it anymore. But I know that it was several races of giants that were mentioned, but now AI is making it like it's only a couple giants, but we know it was a whole bunch of them. And I don't know where that paper is. And I listed all of them. Oh well, y'all. Dang. I feel like I just looked at it. Give me 1 second, family. Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Did I put it over here? Real quick. Y'all know I got papers freaking everywhere. And I be trying to protect our some of our studies. Oh man. Okay, y'all. I don't know. That's gonna make me sad. And watch me find it when we always need it, but I'll find it later. It's a paper. Goliath. Yeah, those are the Anakim. Okay, here we go. The Anakim, the Zamzumin, the Emin. Come on. The Rephaim. There we go. You said, yep, you had us write it down on April 12th, 2022. Can you give me the list? I got the best class on the planet. April 12th, 2022, we wrote down a list. No, I don't got to know everything because y'all got it. Do you see how great that is for me? King of Bashan, Og. Okay, come on. Amalekites, Amorites, Anakim, Ashdites, the Ashdodites, Avim, Caphtorim. Look at my class. I'll take it. And will. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. See? Because I don't even know where my paper is because it's ripped out somewhere. Thank you so much, Sarah. I appreciate it. Listen, Zoom, and I'm trying to type with my son in my arm. I gotta rest. It's okay. No. Okay. So if you have that list, can you go and search up an interaction? Because we realize that those people's patriarchs were angels. And it gets even deeper now, because now we know when the Hebrews were going up against these people, who they was going up against. And it makes much more sense as to why sometimes they had fear. And God would be like, "Are you serious?" And they'd be like, "Do you see them?" Right? I'm so happy y'all wrote that down. I'm so happy you wrote that down. His Greek name was Xerxes, something Karyasha in Persian, a whole bunch of names. Right. A whole bunch of names that Auntie can't pronounce just right now. Listen, y'all. So were they playing in our face this whole time? Because they knew we wasn't gonna look up words and break them down? What y'all think? Would you ever have imagined that patriarch meant my father is an angel, a principality, a ruler, an authority? And we know that those two levels are the lower levels of angels. Like it's three sections, right? No, you wouldn't. It's three sections of angels, three groups. And in each group, there's three types. Okay? So they can play in our face. You said never would have thought to look it up. Nephew. I said, wait a minute. I don't even know what was making me look. What was making me look for that either. Okay, here goes some of them. Oh, this is when we were studying about the Nabateans and elephantiasis and cyrenomylia and all of that. Babel, Eric, Akkad, Calneh, the land of Shinar, Nahor, who's showed up again recently. So that's good. Okay, we got that. You said looking that up got me in a rabbit hole and found two other books. Come on. Come on. You said the Ekronites, the Emim, the Gazites, the Girgashites, and the Gibeonites. So they tell us it was the Philistines and the Anakim and the Anunnaki, and that's about all we know. But whole time, all of these people's fathers were angels. Okay? So then you have to wonder, again, is that why not Moses, Noah was 210 feet tall? Because, again, Seth's line did mix with Cain's. So the giant gene got in either way. I feel like God picked the people because he's the grandest geneticist there is. And he used what the devil meant for bad to, what do you call it? Mutate the human genome. And he took those things and made them into strengths of people that probably weren't as big as the immortals, right? Because we know from Enoch that in the seventh generation, there were men born that by the time they were full grown, they were 450 feet tall. I would call that an immortal being, compared to Adam and Eve being between 25 and 30 feet tall as a regular person. Noah, his grave that's in Anti-Lebanon is 210 feet long. Why would you make a 210 feet long grave for a person? I mean, that don't make no sense. Unless he was 210 feet. Lot's daughters had, they did, and they made the Moabites. So Lot, exactly. Exactly. Right. So y'all going where I want y'all to go. Right. Is this why they don't list the wives? And I've asked that question several times. Is this why they don't list the mothers All the ites. Come on. Even the Israelites. Because we know that in Greek mythology, the 12 patriarchs from Hebrew history are the 12 of the divine family in Greek and Norse mythology. We know this, right? And even in the Bible, the two races of giants that came together to make Jacob, I don't know if you knew, but who was he from? The Amalekites and the somebodies, or the whoever. I'll get it wrong. I always get one and then I don't get the other one. A Canaanite and a somebody. Jacob came out of a Canaanite and a Amorite, I think. He was his parents were Amorites and Canaanites, Jacob's. Y'all heard my stomach. It's always gonna do what it want to do. Right? He said your mother was a. This is right when he right. Yeah. I know one of them was a Canaanite, and I think the other one was an Amorite or something. His parents. Which makes sense as to why his sons could run and rip animals in half while they're running, and not cats. But I don't even know no grown men that could do that. You have to have some strength to pull tendons and flesh and ligaments apart on anything. Right? Like, who was the father of the Zamzumans? Or the Amorites, Anakim, Ashdodites, Avim. Who were the fathers of these people? And who was their mamas? Could their mothers be the daughters of Cain? You said you're new to my page. Where do I get my information from? Studies. I've been studying this for over a decade. The Gittites, the Hittites, and the Zamzumans. Interesting. You said Jacob asked the angel why fight him? Huh? What? So you said in the OTP, Jacob's name was changed to Israel when the angel fought him, and the angel, because he did something in heaven. I don't think so. You said I can't even write the rest of my son. Write the rest. My son eating my sticky notes. Hilarious. Can I put you in regulation study and learn for yourself? Yes. We have over almost 2,000 classes on YouTube, Lorenzo. And you can go all the way back to, can I point you in the right? Yes. If you want to go back to the beginning, we start there. Also, there's a website called sacredtext.org, SACRED text.org, and search Apocrypha. You can read about the infancy of Jesus Christ when he was a baby, the part that's not in the Bible. You can read Adam and Eve, great book. You can read Enoch. It's a lot of stuff over there. Just look sacredtext.com and then the Apocrypha. All of the stuff that you thought might have been missing out of the Bible, the Jubilees, Jasher, which is mentioned in Joshua chapter 10 and a few Numbers 13 and 33. I think it's some other places. The Nephilim and all of that. Yeah, it's real good studies over there. Zamzuman is considered a tribal group or clan of the Rephaim, an ancient group of giants. Uh-oh, nephew. Really? And what interaction did they have with the Zamzuman? Huh? Did you hear that? The Zamzummim is considered a tribal group or clan of the Rephaim, an ancient group of giants. So they like a cousin. Somebody that married a cousin or a daughter somewhere, and so then they're still family. Again, this is why I keep telling y'all, a lot of the kings, a lot of the wars that were fought in the first half of the Bible are very important. Because while people was talking about, oh, they worship this God, and this God, no, they were worshiping the angels' children. And this is why the angels' children and the rulers, the kings, okay, were so obsessed with ruling over the Hebrew people and world domination. King Og, who fought Nimrod, was a Rephaim. Yes, he was. The Gibberim, yep, they were. The Gibber, yep. You said the Gibberim brains were large. The Gibber, yep, yep. This is the class I know. This is the class I love. Come on in. See how we circling all the way back to April 12th? You said Queen 20 and 22. A lot more of it makes sense right now, right? I said, listen, write this down. We're going to come back to it later. And yeah, 4.5 years later, we're back at it. Wild, right? Now it makes so much more sense. You said they lived in the region later occupied by the Ammonites, who gave them the name Zumites, potentially meaning master planners or associated with buzzing and a murmuring sound, like flying people. If the Zamzummim could fly and they were buzzing, are those the people that made the maps? You might have just told us who made the maps. Not them being the locusts. Come on. Nope, that just makes this picture, and I know they're going to ding me for it. This is for educational purposes only, for ancient archaeological studies. TikTok. I am not selling anything. But I do want to show you a picture and tell me if it makes more sense to you in 20 and 26. Oh, yes. Where are you, book? Where are you? Y'all, all my books is on the floor and stacked in places, and places, and places, and places. Where is the freaking book? Okay, there's one. Where's the other one? Take your glasses off to see. Put your glasses on to see. Take your glasses off to see. Where is the... It gotta be down on the floor. Hold on, y'all. There's so many books stacked right here. I don't even know where I didn't put it. We just had it the other day. And I'm probably looking right at it. No, I'm not. That's not it. If I put all the books back, you still ain't gonna be able to find it. Okay. Unless I done put it in the wrong place. Okay, let's do this. Where's that book at? We literally just... Y'all, this is what I get for pulling all these books out every time. Every single time. Now that's wild. We just had the freaking book. Well, y'all know the book I'm looking for. The book I'm looking for is The War of the Seeds. And on there are beings. But for whatever reason, that book, it might be in my room. I'm thinking that's where it's got to be. Because it should be right in here. Mm-mm. That's interesting. Well, I'll just do these. Dang. Mm-mm. Hold on, y'all. I gotta find that. Where did I stick it? Okay. That's portals. And then that's the demon books. Y'all, I don't know where that book is. But y'all know the book I'm looking for. The Battle of the Seeds. We were just looking at it. That's why it's not in this space. But y'all know the book I'm. Oh, duh. Right here. Didn't I tell you I was probably looking at me? That makes more sense, right? Do you see? He got wings too, and human hands, and human feet. Okay, right? This make more sense now, huh? Go back. And these people now are the people that the Israelites and Hebrews was fighting against. It's called When Giants Were Upon the Earth, the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the Biblical Cosmic War of the Seed. But think about this. These were the rulers now. And we know that the angels, okay, they slept with animals and women. You're welcome. Okay? They didn't just sleep with the women. Okay? A lot of your gods of Egypt were the children. Okay, let's run this back. Genesis 5 says that Adam had his kids. He lived another 800 years after he had Seth, right? Cain, it does not tell you how long he lived. It doesn't tell you how long his descendants lived, okay? But we know when he went and he made the city of Enoch, that is the city where the angels came down, the watchers came down, and he offered his daughters to the angels. They are the ones that were taught the magic, how to work roots. He taught their sons. And I'm guessing it had to be the other brothers and sisters of Adam and Eve now, because Cain ain't just had all them kids by himself. Adam and Eve had between 53 and 63 kids. And I say that, somebody's going to correct me. Depending on what versions you've read, Adam and Eve had 53 or 63 children. People say, I don't believe that. Well, evidently you've never read Genesis 5, because right under there where it says Adam died, he made 930 years, it says he had other sons and daughters. So it's like 30 sets of kids, roughly, that came from Adam and Eve. Okay? By that time, Cain was already having kids. We know this because Genesis 6 said when men had begun to multiply on earth and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. Men were already having kids with women. The sons of God came down in the days of Jared, right? And created these giants. They basically did what scientists are doing right now and created hybrids. But it wasn't just human angel hybrids, it was angel animal, which is where we get our centaurs, our minotaurs, mermaids. All of those different things came from the mixing of the genes, which God was pissed off about. He did not like that. That's one of the reasons the earth had to be destroyed. But so that we could know that it was true, hello, we have all of those genetic disorders in the human genome right now. Cyanomelia, which is mermaid syndrome, hypertrichosis, all of them, they're all here. The Sphinx, all of them. Exactly. Exactly. So it's interesting to go back and see, because we just, okay, they was fighting people. No, they was fighting giants. They wasn't just fighting people. So when they say they slew 250,000 of the Zamzuman, I'm just saying that, or whoever, that was giants. Well, what do they find? Massive bones in huge piles or sprawled out over the uh, ancient Mesopotamia, the Mediterranean. They found all of these bones that are massive, but the Smithsonian go steal them and put them up. People literally have horns growing out of their heads. They do. You'll see the cow people too that was fighting against the Egyptians and Moses them. Remember the cow people? They was the Minotaurs, and they just show you a whole bunch of cows standing up with swords. So when did cows start walking on two legs? This is why you see with the Vikings, I'm going to tell you another way they play with you. Thank you so much, just me. Thank you. Anytime you see them with horns on their head, those were probably not human people, right? Because they take the Vikings and they make hats and then they put horns on them. Can I tell you what the equivalent of that is? If you go back and you look at ancient Russians, the black people, exactly how the people in England stand, those hats that they wear, that was the hair of the people that lived in Russia and Europe at the time. Okay? Lion-faced men of Moab. Come on, you said, yep, they was talking about Esau's line, the Edomites. Come on. Okay? And remember, we looked up subcutaneous horns. There are people right now, okay, that are born with horns, and they say it's an abnormal bone growth. No. Just like they cut off the extra finger that a lot of people have, and it says the men of Gath has 6 fingers and 6 toes. And at birth, they cut those off all the time, because then that would prove that the genetics are still here, which means somebody on the boat out of those 8 people, because the world hasn't been destroyed, we don't know anything about Noah's sons' wives. We don't know nothing about them. And even in the beginning of the Bible, they do not tell you about the daughters, the wives of nobody, until it gets to a certain point. They don't even mention any daughters' names until, I think, Dinah or somebody like that. It is way down the line before they start telling you about the daughters. Why? Why? Just go back. Just go to Genesis. What is it? 4 and 5, I believe. My sister had a 6 finger. Exactly. And they tie it off, they cut it off. Yeah. More people on the earth are born with 6 fingers and 6 toes than 5. And I found out that when my oldest daughter was 17. She's the one that told me. Because she was taking biology or something. Okay. And she was like, Mom, did you know that more people are born with 6 fingers than 5? I said, what? And the crazy thing is, at that time, I was studying about the giants. It was like 2017. So it fit right into the scriptures that I was reading. What do you mean, secrets of the ages? And all the hair all over their body. And David fought with the lion-faced men. You said my childhood friend Storm was born with 6 at the time, and yep, that was in 1991. We got people in our community right now that got 6 fingers. It's the guy J6. If you go look him up on TikTok, I got a whole picture with him. He came in our life. He's in like Kenya somewhere. He's literally living with 6 fingers right now. He don't have 6 toes, but both of his hands have 6 fingers. You said you're one of them. You said, so hear me out. So if they had hair all over their body like Esau, couldn't that explain Sasquatch? Yes. Because they were giants and the color was red. Yes. Yes. We talked about it. Remember, sister, when we was going through this one. Remember we was going through this one? And it talked about the red-haired giants. It talked about the Mediterranean copper giants in the Ohio Valley. That's why we got this. You said Nicole just told me this on the phone today. Hilarious. Yeah. More people are born with 6 fingers and 6 toes than 5. But they do the abnormality checks. This is why they say, oh, we need to check the baby for da 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 da, because if you go and you look at human genetic disorders, they line up with all of the mythological beings. And a lot of times they have their name. You said yes, tied off at birth from both hands. Oh, you had 6 on both hands? I mean, you had. Right, right. So look, you can screenshot this. Some of y'all don't have this book, but screenshot that table of contents. This is the Encyclopedia of Giants in North America. And you see Mediterranean Amorite copper traders in the Ohio Valley. Why would the Amorites be in the Ohio Valley? The Amorites from the Bible. Why would they be in the Ohio Valley? Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and wherever else that is. You said this is why they draw our blood at birth to see what the real angel lineage come from. Why are giants in the Ohio Valley? Tell me. And these are the black bearded and red headed giants. Really? In America? Interesting. War with the giants. Fortifying the south bank of the Great Lakes. Interesting. And if you go and you read Magellan, the voyage of Magellan, when he was in South America, he literally talks about the cannibals and the giants, and he describes them, and they were black people. Go and read the voyage of Magellan from 1555. It even tells you the coordinates of where they found the giants at. He said that when the giant came and stood in front of them, when he stepped down, his foot went into the earth 5 inches. That's how much he weighed. So imagine how heavy do you have to be to push the ground, the grass. If somebody went walking through your nicely manicured grass and they pushed it down 5 inches, that's almost as tall as our phones is 6 inches, honey. And in 1555, when this man was on a boat going all around to the Caribbean, this is what he was seeing. They were. In 1555, not 2000 BC, 500 years ago, or 700 years ago, roughly, whatever. Hello. 500. Abraham Lincoln actually spoke about giants when he was at Niagara Falls. Yes. He said, yes, you can still see the evidence on my hands. I'm trying to tell you. They lied to us. And now that we know who produced the school books, Pearson and whatnot, we understand why. They rearranged history. You said they just so-called found 4 months ago a pyramid in Pikeville, Kentucky. Who remembers us talking about all of the mounds, our burial mounds, all the hills that we used to go sledding on and stuff, and run up and down and push our friends and roll down? Those are actual ancient burial mounds, all of them. All the hills and everything that we used to play on as kids, Marco Polo or whatever, and pushing the people down, and King of the Hill, yeah, they played in our face. Those are all ancient burial grounds, every last one of them. Every single last one of them. The extra fingers run in your family too. You said just like in the movie Troll. And in the other daughter or whatever, the other daughter, the perfect daughter, whatever it's called, with old boy. They was in the West Virginia or somewhere, and she ended up going in that mound, and they found things that were null of melanin, and they was old, and it was a hive down there. I think it was called the New Daughter. I think that's what it was called, the New Daughter. And every 14 years they come out and get them somebody, a young woman to mate with. You need to watch that. Mounds in Simpsonville, Kentucky, all of them. You said, yeah, mine's to my brother, and his daughter had extra fingers. Yeah, in real life. It's a real thing. Indian mounds in Macon, they everywhere. It don't matter what state you in, because, again, When it says that men spread out over the whole earth after the flood, that's people try to make it think only Europe and no, they was over here. This okay, and we talked about this. My WOers know this. Okay, listen, lots in Tennessee, and I'm about to tell you why. Which one? I've referenced a whole bunch of them. The Encyclopedia of Ancient Giants in North America is by Fritz Zimmerman. Fritz Zimmerman. Okay. You're welcome. What was I going to say? Do your research, right? Go look up Paleo Hebrew. Now, this is what's interesting. Is it with Kevin Costner? Yes. Yes. My dad, my husband, and son had extra fingers that was tied off and dried and fell off. Right. Ain't this crazy? How was it that if it's such a rare occasion, all of these people have family members and them, they had them? Okay. So, oh yeah. People don't believe that that after the flood, and even when it says that people started before the flood, that they spread out all over the planet. But there's pyramids on every planet, every continent, right? So in Southern America, okay, in the southern parts of America where they said slaves were, you can go and look. They just found out in the last 15 years or so that the markings that they thought were just random markings were actually Paleo Hebrew. A lot of the graves from the slaves, when they wrote on there, they wrote the slave name, but under there were these markings. And there was an archaeologist who had went and was looking through, or he might have been, yeah, I think it was an archaeologist. He flipped it. He was like, this is Paleo Hebrew. How would the slaves, so-called, if they weren't already here, know Paleo Hebrew? That's the oldest form of, well, one of the oldest forms of language. How would these people that supposedly couldn't write or read know Paleo Hebrew? You can go look it up right now. Okay? Whenever they depict slaves, they always depict them as massive, the women and the men. Hello. If you go get Magellan, matter of fact, look. Yeah, I don't think so. I think prior to the flood they were, but at the flood the seven gates opened, Val. But the land masses, the buildings were already there. Right? So when that Pangea split apart at the flood, it didn't take the buildings away. Mm-hmm. You said I saw a show about a real guy that had hands like a penguin character, and like the people over in Africa that have the, again, we did studies about this and a lot of people don't know, but one of the last places that the Bible says that they chased some of the that David and them chased, I am that David and them chased the giants to was Sudan, and the Sudanese people are the tallest people on the planet. You said there's a marker in Scotland that showed where the giant black man walked over water to Scotland. And there are people born with tails. There's pictures of giants from Tartaria. Yes, there are. We have a book on Tartaria right there. The One World Tartarians. It's up there. Where can you find me? CERCA TROVA 22 on YouTube. CERCA. If you type in CERCA TROVA YouTube, it'll come up. Okay, so look. This is Magellan. And mind you, again, he gives the coordinates. He went to the Martin.
Geologists not wanting to see that this kind of technology existed, or is
Y'all
it
see
just
my
a
hands?
bird or a toy figure? Let me know what you think. Looks pretty much like an airplane or a drone to me.
Clearly, my hands was not on my phone. Tails is more normal for folks to be born with like extra fingers, right? Girl, my phone that was underneath the Bible and a paper, and y'all see I just sat down and I wasn't touching no books because I got the book in my hand. But we gonna move on. I done told y'all what be going on around here. All right, so crazy. He went to Portugal. He went to Martin of Bohemia. But when he got to Brazil, to the Canary Islands, hold on. Okay. Doo, doo, doo. So he got to Brazil and he was at I guess this is 33 degrees longitude and 30 degrees south latitude. He went to Cape St. Augustine, and it gives the coordinates of that, right? It says, as they sailed southwest until they came to the land called the land of Verzin, okay, of south latitude, which is the land south from Cape St. Augustine, which lies at 8 degrees of south latitude, and there they made a refreshment of sweet potatoes, batatas, sweet potatoes, which are eaten like chestnuts. Okay. Get to the big people. Okay, here we go. This land of Verzin is very vast and larger than Spain, Portugal, France, and Italy combined. So he was somewhere in Brazil, but it was bigger than Spain, Portugal, France, and Italy combined. Very vast indeed. The people have no religion and they live by the laws of nature and reach an age of 125 to 140 years old. Both men and the women go naked. So in 1555, when Ferdinand Magellan, or whatever his name is, got to Brazil, okay, the area where he was at, everybody was walking around naked, and the people lived to be 140 years old, between 125 and 140. Okay. So then it says, and they live in long houses that they call boi, Boii. And they sleep in a cotton net that is tied to 2 large trunks in the middle of the house, and they build their fires inside on the ground. 100 men with their women and children can sleep in each of these beds, making a great noise. They have boats made out of a single tree trunk, and they call them canoes. And they put that in italicized writing, canoes. Interesting. Which they hollow out with stone axes, for they work with stone as we work with iron, which they do not possess. 30 or 40 men can ride in a canoe, and they row it with oars that resemble a baker's shovel, and naked and black as they are, they look like those who sail the infernal marshes. The men and women have the same form that we have. They eat the flesh of their enemies, not because they like the taste of it, but because of a custom that arose when an old woman had her only son killed by his enemies. And it happened that one day her relatives seized one of those who had killed her son, and they took him to the said old woman, and you know what happened after that. They're talking about the king of Brazil. Trying to get to where they say they was huge. Give me a second, y'all. They say the cannibals were at 34 degrees longitude and 20 degrees south latitude. That's where the cannibals were. The Cape of Santa Maria. Give me a second. Here go the giants right here. Why didn't it describe the other one? Oh, I was right there. Okay, it says, after remaining 13 days in this land, they left and came in 34 degrees longitude, 20 degrees of south latitude, where they found a freshwater river and cannibals, people who eat human flesh. And one of them, as large as a giant and with a voice like a bull, came aboard the ship, and the other inhabitants removed all their things from the houses and took them inland for fear of the sailors. So there was one giant. And then there was another giant. It says, afterwards, another giant was seen, taller and better proportioned than the others, bow and arrows in hand, who approached our men, touched his head, and turned and raised his hand to the sky. And our men did likewise. And the captain ordered him to be brought in a small boat to the land island in the port. To the little island in the port. He was very tractable and gracious, and he leaped and danced, and in dancing his feet went into the earth a palm deep. So when he jumped up and came down, his feet went into the grass. And think about this, a man. This is my hand. I'm a woman. Okay? Could you imagine somebody walking past you and your yard, every step they took went down this deep? 4 to 5 inches? Could you imagine? And some men have larger palms than that. So just imagine somebody stepping in your grass, and not the grass being pushed down, all of the dirt. If you think about the giant prints that we've seen, that's exactly what we see. When people step their foot down in what they say are giant tracks, it'd be almost up to our ankle. Because if you go from the bottom of your foot to your ankle or a little above, that's about 4.5, 5 inches. And in 1555, when they got to Brazil, right, your phone is 6 to 7 inches. And in 1555, when Magellan was sailing around in South America and all the Caribbean, these are the people that were living there in 1555. Well, I bet you if we go back and look at history books and try to find what was going on when the Moors were here, because I guarantee you, the way that they describe these people, it's just like Queen Khalifa in California, and they look just like the old Native Americans that were darker skinned, almost black, and how they looked in the museums, how they got those sculptures there. Not the people we see today, and I'm not being mean to nobody, but this is from 1555. And they describe the people in these areas of South America as being black. And mind you, these people are coming from Spain and France. Okay? So when they get to these coasts and they see these people that are massive, when this person steps down in the ground, or if he jumps, the earth sinks down 4 to 5, maybe even 6 inches. How much do you have to weigh to be able to move that much earth? You said a cottonette like Tarzan. Listen. You said, did you hear about the 80,000-pound stone in Los Lunas, New Mexico that has Paleo Hebrew and Greek That is the Ten Commandments. No, I did not. What, Rika? Listen, you said an elephant would. You said they knew who black people were because the Yaya people, black people, have been in Spain, right? Y'all don't think that's wild though? You definitely need to read this. The Voyage of Magellan, the Journal of Antonio Pigafetta. Please get it, and you can get it online too and read it there. I would if I were you, and then you'll know the truth. That's why they getting rid of these old books. That's why they don't want us to have them. It says the maps are from 1552. And this book specifically was published in 1969, but the maps are from 1552. So I said 1555. Excuse me, I was wrong. The maps and Magellan, Sardinia, giant tombs. Yep. You about to what? Are you about to download it, sister? La Brea tar pits have the dire wolves, saber-toothed cats, mammoths, giant sloths. The world does not know how they painted it before. You said before their benefit. Now, tar pits. We was reading something or was getting ready to go into something, and I was trying to figure out where the tar pits would have been. But the tar pits are also in Lord of the Rings. They in Lord of the Rings. There's also tar pits in Egypt. Because that's what they pitch, is what they put on the outside of their boats for them to float. There's tar pits, a lot of tar pits in ancient Mesopotamia. Or the Mediterranean, or the Middle East, as we call it. Because why would the people in Brazil, you said there's tar pits right here in California. Come on. See? Thank you, T's 2 cents. You heard that? And guess who was there? Queen Khalifa, who was a giantess. Okay? Listen, it goes so much deeper. Again, we looked up the word patriarch today. Patri is father. Arcus means principality, ruler, or being from the beginning. So the word patriarch literally means father, angel, or my angel is a father. I mean, my angel is my father. Literally, because Arcus, Archas or Arkas, they spell it a couple of ways with an H, means principality, authority, or being from the beginning. Patri, father. Father angels, or my father is an angel. You said not talking about size, but it has always been something to know about skin color, like people who have a wide range of skin tones from other countries, that the darker skinned folks were usually laborers, while fairer skinned folks were considered more elite, like royalty. This is why back in the day, they used to powder on their faces to appear elite and also white passing. And Sarah, do you remember when we first came on here where I told you where the fair skin hatred comes from? Two places. It started with the mark of Cain, right? We know that because Cain was marked with a leprous white spot because he was in Africa. Everybody was black at that time, period. So a leprous white spot would stand out in Africa for sure, right? And then the Africans and Arabians had slaves, Slavs. This is where you get Slavic, okay? Right? And they actually gave them land and a mule after their service, but they were called Memluks, Memluks or Looks. They were white slaves to the Arabs. You can go look at pictures and see dark skinned Arabs or Persians or whoever, and you will see a very pale white person, and they'll have on their turban and everything else, but you can see that that person was a slave. And so I believe that the hatred that we see now and today stems all the way back to Cain being pushed out because he had the leprous white spot. It was about color. Everybody knew he was cursed because of what? Because he had a leprous white spot. And now, what's it about? Skin color. Vitiligo today, basically. Okay? So it's just reversed, right? The hatred, because, first of all, again, they gave them their 40 acres and a mule, we'll say. They gave it to them. Okay? Well, if they all get together and build up societies, now we gonna come back and we about to make y'all our slaves. It's like you got to go further back in history to find out what it really was. Yeah. So everything just flipped. The cause is reversed. Exactly. Exactly. You said, man, I love this class. Right. So a lot of people are like, why do you hate me? Because of my skin, because of the forefathers. Because Cain was pushed out because he had leprous white skin, and now we are ostracized and everything else because we don't have white skin. They say that trauma is trapped in your DNA, in your genetics. Hello. You said not the Slav. The slavers here promise the same land and mule. Yeah, if you go look up Memlooks, just go look up Arabian white slaves. I promise you, it's gonna blow your mind. First will be last, and the last will be first. Yes, it's true. Just go look it up for yourself. Go look up Memlook. MEM. Well, they playing with the internet now. You probably can find it in a Bible dictionary if you have one. If you have Webster's unabridged um, dictionary, it's probably in there as well. You said what about us light skins? Well, you got to think, if Cain's line mixed with all sorts of other things, and again, it got into Seth's line later. Think about it. Like I said, we talked about this in Africa. Uh, there are certain countries in Africa you can't be no albino. The witches and warlocks be looking for you, or there's whole albino communities because they give the children away because they feel like they're wicked. Okay. Arabs and North African Muslims enslaved white Europeans for centuries throughout the Mediterranean. Piracy, border warfare, and trade with Viking and Eastern European merchants. You mean what's happening right now? Memluk means one who is owned. Exactly. Did y'all hear that? Arabs and North African Muslims enslaved white Europeans for centuries throughout Mediterranean. Piracy, border warfare, and trade with Viking and Eastern European merchants. Hello, that's all happening right now. Sierra, I dated a guy that was 100% Cuban, and I thought he was just white. I met his family, and I was shocked. My stepdad is brown from PR. Never knew about it until then. Wow. Yeah. Ain't that crazy? You said Mark 16 says, he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature, hope for all. Yes. You said wake up. We had it all first. We did. Crazy, right? See how much they hear from us, and you wonder where the hatred comes from. Way back in Cain. You say, yep, they're His many trials of albino kids of Afrikaans who were killed and used for magic rituals. It makes sense now, don't it? It makes sense why the Afrikaans, would use them for magic if they're in the line of Cain, and Cain's daughters slept with the giants. I mean, with the angels. And in Africa, they were the magic beings. They was onto it before we even knew what was up. Hello. And if you don't believe that, Noah was an albino. Noah was albino, and his daddy ran to his granddaddy and said, I think my wife cheated on me with an angel. And Enoch told him, no, that's your baby. Noah was born glowing, was. Yeah. Yeah, Noah was an albino. And that's what you got to read. Was it, it's the book of Moses, or it's not the book of Noah? It's not that. I can't think of what it's called. It might be the Testament of Abraham. But yeah, he was like, that ain't my son. And he said, it is. And he's not from an angel. But that's how you know that the angelic DNA was there. It popped out. You said, okay, now it's making more sense as to why Viking movies, they slaves was white. Yeah. Yeah. TikTok is acting crazy because we over here spitting real true. Y'all know how they do for us. Once we get to telling the truth, they do not like that.
Hey, what's up, America?
They don't do that. I'm just gonna turn this off just so y'all see this is off. Okay? Because I don't even be touching that screen and it just started playing. It did that before I left earlier. Hello. So, I want to know how, too, if in Brazil, the boat that was carved out of just one tree is called a canoe. Can you tell me what the boats in Africa are called? And I know in all the different, there's different countries, but I wonder if they're similar, because a lot of their boats were carved out of one tree as well. Egyptian boats as well. I wonder what they call them, because in 1552, the people in Brazil were calling their boats that were carved out of one solid trunk a canoe, and we know that from Hawaii, right? And the Indians, or the indigenous people, canoes. So how is it that they called them the same thing in the 1500s if they weren't the same people? You said that is amazing. Still have you have all the notes. Listen, it's crazy how the roles are reversed, and how, because we've been taught, hey T baby, because we've been taught just one view, or to only look at certain things we don't see. But whose mind was blown to know that patriarch literally mean my daddy is an angel? Islanders like the Samoa Hawaiian had canoe. They big folks, kind of like giants. Ain't that what Moana told y'all? Moana told y'all that they was an ancient race of giants. They always show Persians, Africans, Arabs, Hawaiians, and some other folks like they're just massive, right? It's a reason for that. Just like a lot of people didn't believe me when I said some of them people from in Haiti come from the Hattai, however you say it, Hattai. They did. You remember when we studied that, and it was a tribe over in either ancient Mesopotamia or Africa somewhere? Hattai. They had a whole civilization. Them was them folks in Haiti. They just play with the words. I'm trying to tell you. They play with the letters. You said, I sure am surprised at that. You said, interesting. I just seen a video on the indigenous people, and they talked about the canoes being carved with one tree, one love. Go on and get you a Magellan. Go on and get the Magellan. You said 6 traditional boats in Africa vary by region, but the most famous including the dhow, a traditional sailing boat with triangular sails used along the East African coast. Interesting. Do they look like canoes, sister? See how they be playing in our face? They don't want us to know. That's why they getting rid of the old books. And this is why when I got over here, I said, listen, why ain't nobody thinking about the books? Go buy as many books as you can. Don't buy them all new. Go to the old stores, to the Goodwill. I specifically sent y'all to used bookstores. Buy all the old books you can. It don't matter about what they about. Look now. You said Hattai is Hittites. Oh, interesting. HTTAI is the Hittites. The people from, so the Hittites ended up in Haiti? How'd that work out? The Hittites ended up in Haiti. The Amorites ended up in America in the Ohio Valley. Oh. If they could build pyramids, y'all don't think they could build submarines and boats? You said it's interesting to note that they all share O and U sounds for boats. Come on. Sure did, because my atlas, you said in my atlas Bible, Haiti, you said is on the map by Mesopotamia, or Hattai is on the map by Mesopotamia. I'm trying to tell you. What information? Whatever you miss, Shanice, it's on, you said Magellan is an Academy store brand. Really? Didn't even know. YouTube will always have it. We record every day. And as soon as we get off here, as a matter of fact, you can go back and rewind while we're in live. We found that out. Whose toes wiggling? See all y'all pieces? I already know y'all neurons is over there fine, and electrons is firing right now. Because y'all thinking about all the stuff we didn't studied, all the places, and everybody kept telling us it's not relevant to the Bible, but it is. But it is. Boats in ancient Egypt Kemetic, you said, are called DPT, or I don't even know how to say that. Yes. Yes. You said what toes? I told y'all, and get this. A lot of this is in the truth of the Christian religion. Synapses are firing. Come on now. Remember when I asked y'all to download the truth of the Christian religion? A lot of this is where I found a lot of this information, because whenever this book came out, it was old, okay? Because they still had F's for S's. So it was probably prior to 1611, I'm thinking, that this book came out. Okay? This is when, for English, an F was an S. Okay? That's when this book was written. Okay? But you can download it for free. He said, I'm still trying to chase mine down across the yard. Hilarious. Okay? So if you can get the truth about the Christian religion, or the truth, you can download it everywhere. Like Google Books had it for a long time. It's called Of the Truth. Of the Truth. Of the Christian religion. Of the Truth of the Christian religion. I don't know who it's by because it's old. But I know it was in like the 1600s, because they still used S's for F's at that time. Now, and I'm going to tell you why they hid this book, okay? Talks about the Argonauts. But right here, where is my, y'all? It's sad when you need glasses to find stuff, and then you gotta take your glasses off because you can't find stuff with your glasses on. I don't know what is going on around here. Oh, there it go. Okay, so look. I don't know. because it's an old book, right? So I'm gonna let y'all screenshot this though, so y'all can see. Skip over all of my crazy writing, okay? Don't look at that. And this was a long time ago that I downloaded this, but screenshot that right there. All of this, and I know that's a lot of little bitty words and whatnot in there, but you need to read that because that's where they hit everything at, okay? But you see this where it says human bones of 24 cubits. A cubit is 18 inches. Do you see this? Do you see this? It says the whole arm exceeded 16 cubits. And the same man, I'm reading this backwards, but do you see that? It says human bones, 24 cubits. 1 cubit is 18 inches. So how tall is a man that one of his arms, okay, is 16 cubits? 16 times 18 inches or 16 times 21 inches is how long this arm is that they found, okay? And I can tell you where they were. Oh, they talking about Homer in here. In the 50th Olympiad to Gia, he said, by the advice of an oracle, are related to have been 7 cubits in length. Right? Go. This book got a lot of little. You said a 24 foot long arm. Okay. And y'all don't want to go. Look, and the giants were mentioned by Moses. I'm gonna let y'all screenshot this too. Here you go. Screenshot that. Right? You see that? Moses, you see that's an F, but that's supposed to be S, but that's how they wrote back then. You see in Latin historians meet with savage life of the giants. You said mentioned by Moses. Huh. See, they be hiding stuff. You see it? I don't know who the author is because I downloaded it a long time ago. That's what I'm telling you. I just know it's a real old book. If you don't have to pay for it, 9 times out of 10, that's it. If it's from like the 1600s, that's it. You said he would be 24 foot tall. Interesting. So there's a lot of stuff that they have in the Smithsonian that we don't have access to. But if you can find the old books, this is why they're trying to get rid of them. And when wouldn't nobody think about books, y'all girl was downloading all kinds of stuff and printing it out. Because this book has like several hundred pages, I think. And I printed out almost all of them. And they're in, most of them are in here. Let me see if I can find the title page for y'all. I don't think I have it anymore though. Because I think I wrote on it. It talks about Muhammad. It's all kinds of stuff in here. It's a really good book. And when they tell you what they changed the names to too. They tell you that. Like how we call, like Kemet is now Egypt. They tell you about that as well. Yeah, I don't think I have it anymore, y'all. The title page. Because I downloaded this year, probably like 2016 or 2017. I don't think I have it anymore. But as y'all can see, I've been doing my research on it says Nubians were the ancient Sudanese. This is when I found out where the Kardashians real spelling was of their name. Oh, I already know about the doors. Boats. Hold on, I missed something. You said some folks think that the Haitian and Jamaicans were the Levi tribe because of their traditions. I believe it. I believe it. They show you in Moana when the whole island raises up. Yep. And he literally is a demigod, a child of the angels. Okay, so look, do y'all know that the Kardashians, the original spelling for their name is Carduchians, not the car that we see. Ain't that crazy? Remember, I told y'all they play with the C's and the K's so you don't know who you're looking at, right? But the original spelling of the Kardashians, or that name, is Carduchians. Okay. What else we got on here? Talks about the ark. How did they know in the early 1500s that the ark was in Turkey? Huh? And how did they know in 1891 where Noah's burial ground is, and they just tried to tell us they found it in 22. And the whole time they knew it was in anti-Lebanon in 1891. It's a book right here where this man, he went and seen it. He saw the grave of Seth, which is in Lebanon. Not Moses. Noah is in the anti-Lebanon, the mountains right there. His grave 210 feet. Seth's grave was 30 feet. And not Abel, I can't think of who the other one is. But they know where all their graves is. All of them. As a matter of fact, there's giant graves all over Palestine. That's why they over there. Because the first people are there. And they want to make super soldiers. So that makes sense. You said they ought to. Right, that's okay. It's Carduchians. Okay. Talks about Kurdistan. Okay, so here we go. It says the remark of Pliny's that Joppa was built before the flood discovers the part of the earth men inhabited before the flood, the place where the ark rested after the deluge on the Gordian Mountains. The Gordian, and they spell it Gordyan. They were giants, Rob. Get your screenshot fingers ready. This book is from 1891. You so happy to see me? Well, I'm happy to see you too. We've been on YouTube the whole time. Just so you can see. Oh, is this turned the right way? No. Hold on. Show you. See, this book is from 1891. You see it, 1891. What is it? Giant cities of Bashan, Syria's holy places. Right? Educational purposes only. I'm about to let you screenshot this, and you'll understand why they are in the areas that they're in. Do you have your screenshot fingers ready? Because they're going to start playing it as soon as I put this up here. Here we go. Look right there. This. You said the Rephaim. Hold on, let me show you. See at the bottom of there? Bashan and the land of sacred romance. Boom, boom, boom. But who? The Rephaim. The Arab chiefs of Mesopotamia. Right there. The Rephaim, Ashtaroth, Karnaim. They telling you, right? Boom, boom, boom. Jewish spies said they were as grasshoppers. This is in 1891, y'all. And this man went over there. There go Goliath name. Okay? You see it? If you want to screenshot this, I'm going to put it back over there so y'all can screenshot. So, if you want to screenshot this, go ahead real quick and I'm going to show y'all the second page. Go look up Bashan right now. Do you see this? It says they were the terror of the Israelites and the champions of their foes as late as the time of David. And strange to say, there are traditionary memorials of these primeval giants exist even now in almost every section of what? What? Palestine, in the form of graves of enormous dimensions, as the grave of Abel is near Damascus. They was bombing there first. 30 feet long. That of Seth in anti-Lebanon, about the same size, and that of Noah, in Lebanon, which measures no less than 70 yards. So they knew where Seth's grave, Abel's grave, and Noah's grave was in 1891. Interesting. And he went and saw them. This man was over there in 1891. And look, Amorite inhabitants, well, how were they in Ohio and over here in Lebanon? Interesting. And Og from the Bible was from Bashan. Hello. Gotta go get the old books. That's where the information is. Thank you, T. Because this was sent to me. So the same Amorites that were in ancient Mesopotamia lived in Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. That's interesting. Huge. Noah was 210 feet tall. You got to think the original people were 30 feet, y'all. Abel's grave was 30 feet, and so was Seth's. And Noah's was 210 feet long. Why they building a 210 foot coffin if he ain't that tall? And remember, the Bible says there was giants on the earth before the flood and after. How did they get here? I remember seeing a video about a man talking about how he had seen the Ark of the Covenant and there was angels guarding it and they allowed him in. Yes, he was under the ground. Yes, sister, that's it. You said that's why we got the deep cave by 465. Interesting. Interesting. So listen, I gotta run to the restroom real quick. But now you see why I said that whole patriarch thing is taking on a whole different. Now that I know literally patriarch means father of rulers, principalities, or my father was a ruler or a principality. And I know that rulers and principalities are angels. And the devil's seed against God's seed, the humans, the people that he made, it makes perfect sense as to why the kings always wanted to rule over the humans. Hello. Right. That makes so much sense as to why them kings was going so hard to rule over natural humans until the lines was crossed, and then it was just giants fighting against giants. Oh, that was another thing I was about to show y'all. It was talking about the Titan War on one of these pages. The Trojan War, 1260 BC to 1180 BC. The Iberians in Asia. Talking about the Galatians come from Gomer. Iran were originally the Scythians. And I did not know that there was a city of Magog in Hierapolis and in Babylon. Did y'all know that there was a city called Magog over there? Hierapolis. I didn't know that. Where is it? This book got a lot of information, y'all. A ton. Talks about the Trillions, and we got their book now. We got the book of the Trillions now. I didn't even have it back then. Mitzrayim is Egypt. The Deucalion is talking about Chaldeans and Noah. This book got some good stuff. How Africa got its name, we know that's from Aphra. The Ebionites, Erythrians. Okay, here we go. It says, so the Titan Trojan War happened after the Tower of Babel, and they knew it. It's called Of the Truth of the Christian Religion, and they show you how much they changed and hid and started whitewashing. Of the Truth of the Christian Religion, or Of the Truth of Christian Religion. No, the one of the two. And it's an old book. I'm gonna run to the restroom, y'all. I'll be right back. You have this shirt too because you go to Dollar Tree, like your TC. I don't have the book because I printed it. I printed this. It's a very old book. You can go to Google books though, and it should be on there. Of the Truth of Christian Religion. Yes. Yes. I'll be right back, y'all. And remember now, it's written in Old English. So the F's look like S's. Okay? So you're going to have to use your, like, cause in that is CAUFSE or FE, but it's cause. So if you know anything about the etymology of, the English language and all of that, understand that there was a time where F was S. It took me a little bit to get used to reading it like that. It's a lot of reading, but it's really worth it. And don't try to read it all at once. Go down there and read the notes and go through and take them apart. Sorry, y'all. Oh, okay. I think. Uh, it's called the Giant Cities of Beishan. I remember you said there's a famous steakhouse down here in Florida that has recipes blown up and made into wallpaper, almost the feature as in the writing. Did you find it, Sarah? Did y'all find it? The book? Because Google Books had, I don't know if they still do. I've noticed everything that I suggest, they be wanting to take it off, make you pay for it. You can't find it no more. So I can't even say it should be there. I'm praying it is. Might be in some library too. You're welcome. So going back to the patriarchs thing, right? Because that has my mind in a whole bunch of places. Arcus, Arcan, Archaic, right? Even in welding, isn't there something called like an arc? And the angels were made out of fire. Or arcing or something like that. You said it's on Google Books and archive.org. Thank you so much. And archons. And what do we have? The homostasis of the archons. We have that in the Nag Hammadi library. The homostasis of the archons is in our book. Hello. There's a arc in welding. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so archaic, archons. What about Arkansas? You said, what about Arkansas or any other? Thank you. Any other state? Because these states have meaning. They weren't just named whatever. They try to tell us whatever. No, honey, they have a deeper meaning. Because think about it. A third of heaven fell. I couldn't think of how to say it easier. It's okay, Sarah. Is that right, Pumpkin? We here. Arcadia. Exactly. And literally, Arcus means man from Arcadia. I watched a guy speak about the archons and them being involved in ghost pregnancies where the baby is gone at 3 months. Why is that important to us? Because, Tony, we've read about some of the giant women only being pregnant for 3 months, or the women that were pregnant with their giants. And we actually talked about the ghost pregnancies and the like, and the spirit spouses. Hello. Noah's Ark as well. Crazy, right? Words have power, and we don't think about how much. Seeing a rewatch in my future, girl. Listen. You said yes, that's why I was mind blown. You said we have Lake Arcadia here. Interesting. We teach about everything. You can go and check my YouTube out. And just flip through some videos there under our live videos, and it'll kind of give you, because we talk about everything. We talk about science, we talk about everything and how it all plays back into the Bible, mythology, archaeology, paleontology, all of that. We go all the biblical history, all of it. It's a whole bunch of everything. They be telling us, right? But God said we got eyes and we don't see, we got ears but we can't hear nothing. Oh, like the words that are being said. You said Scorpion King, he was an Akkadian. He was a son of Akkad, the giants. A son of Akkad. The Bible talks about the sons of Akkad. Sure does. And they were a race of giants. And the Scorpion King was an Akkadian. Okay. So Going back to what we talked about with the elephant men and ape men from Jasher, the men of the Tower of Babel. That's how we got Planet of the Apes. If you go back and watch Planet of the Apes, I bet in the background of Planet of the Apes, you see the Tower of Babel. They play in our face. Because Jasher tells us that when the men built the tower, a third of them unalived each other, a third of them uh, were scattered, and a third of them got turned into ape men and elephant men. That's in like the ninth, I think the ninth book of Jasher, the book that's mentioned in Joshua, chapter 10, verse 13. See, a lot of people, when they read that, they just read right past it, but it's stories unlocked in there. You can find out what happened. Was it Moses? It was Moses, I think, in there, and Abraham. No, Abraham. Which one hit the. Was that Moses? I think it was Moses. When he was little, the angel had him burn his hand. It was Moses, right? It was Moses. So they don't tell you in the Moses story that Pharaoh, when Moses was 2 or 3 years old, he was set on his lap, and I think Pharaoh was there with the kings or whatever, and he knocked the Pharaoh's hairdress. It would burn his mouth. Excuse me, his mouth. Well, didn't he burn his hand too because he had to pick it up. It was Moses. That's why he stuttered. Okay, I'm sorry. His mouth. That's why he stuttered because the angel. So Moses knocked the diadem off the king's head, and the king was like, "Oh, you know what you're doing." And they was like, "No, he didn't know what he was doing." And so he ordered two coals to be brought. One was black and one was red hot. And God sent an angel to make Moses touch the red hot one and pick that up and put it in his mouth. You right. That's why he stuttered. Because the Pharaoh said if he pick up the black one, he know what he doing and he plans on dethroning me, is what it basically boiled down to. Right? So God let an angel come and make Moses touch the wrong one and put it in his mouth, and he burned his mouth. You're right. That's why he stuttered. Sorry, y'all. We didn't read so many stories. Okay? Those stories are not in the Bible, but they made it a point to tell us that Moses stuttered. You said they doing what they do. Right, but God also said, but see, we can't even blame them. And I'm going to tell you why. God said he put mysteries in his word. Right? And he went to prison for 10 years. They leave that out too. When he killed, oh boy, that's true. And that's how he met Jethro and his father-in-law. It was Balaam who tried to get in the king's ear because he knew who Moses was and he wanted to unalive him. That's right, because he had a dream or had consulted with the demons, or it was a omen, like some stars in the sky lined up the day Moses was born, right? Or something similar to that. Oh, you was talking about the app glitching. Oh, they glitching me out because I'm telling y'all the truth. So the angel disguised himself as one of the king's courtsmen. Interesting. Just reading about a disguise today, but I figure we'll talk about it later on or tomorrow. It's funny you say that. Because I read something today that said Jesus. It was one of my favorite stories. Okay, thank you. I just read a story about Jesus disguising himself as a little kid. And he was the man on the boat. He was the man on the boat and the little kid, right? It made me think about the Antichrist story that we read, that he's going to turn himself into a little kid and then to an old man and then to a young man. Couldn't figure out why that was important. Now I know why. Interesting, as if to why they be trying to get certain people's blood because they know they line up on certain days. Right. Right. It feel good putting the pieces together. And yes, my stories be running together because y'all know how many versions I done read. My toes is curled up. You already know what I was about to ask. And when he was about to pick the stone, the angel moved his hand so that he chose the stone that showed he didn't know what he was really doing, even though they really did. Yes. These are the stories that need to be in the Bible. And they make the Bible that much. Literally, they gave us, I say this all the time, they gave y'all, if you only read the KJV, you're reading the syllabus of the Bible. And if you've ever been in school, you know how short, even though a syllabus can be long, ain't no information on the syllabus. It just tell you where to go read. That's exactly what the King James Version of the Bible is. Every version of the King James is a syllabus. And to every single story that you read, you can find more about it. Actual accounts of what happened during those years. These people lived 700, 800, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200 years. You think it ain't nothing about their life except for the one, two stories that's in the Bible? That's not true. The takeaway version. Come on. You said, we know, Auntie, it's all good. That's why you have us. Girl, listen. All the stories be ran together, honey. But one of the things that I see is there's a lot of repeats. You said, wow, people will go and watch these movies that basically talk about the Bible all day long. Study to show thyself approved. Was that, you said, was that story in the missing books? It is. You can read it online. We read that online, right? Did we read it online? Listen, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. It's a lot of books in here that got the same stories, right? But some of them are from the Syriac, some of them are from the Greek, some of them are from the Coptic, and so they vary a little bit. It's in Jasher. Okay, it is in Jasher. Um, and so I've read some of this, and some of them too. They getting it now because some of our books we got the other. So it's not even different versions of it. It's just like when they was running and then they was getting burned, they took the scrolls that they could, and so when they migrated places, some of the scrolls were stashed here. Some of the scrolls they might have had a copy in the library that they had got way back when, right? So as people are finding different archaeological digs and things like that, the Qumran scrolls and stuff like that, the Dead Sea Scrolls, it puts the other pieces together because people forget that Jerusalem was burned and Egypt was burned and all of these places were attacked, and their libraries a lot of times was the first place that they attack. You mean like right now when they want to write history? Never mind. It seems like this spirit's been around for a long time, doesn't it? The spirit of wanting to destroy knowledge and history so that you can know. The Bible talks about knowing what your forefathers did. Well, if they keep on destroying the history, how will we know? Well, the ruler of this realm doesn't want you to know because his number one thing to do is to deceive humans. So, right. And if you don't believe me, one of the simplest things to look up, y'all already know, my class already know, Maccabees and Maccabees. The Maccabeans. Maccabees, M-A-C, Mecca, M-E-Q. Okay? Same exact story. But if you look up M-A-C-C, A-B-E-E-S, it shows you white folks. If you look up M-E-Q, B-Y-E-E, B-Y-A-N or E-N, the Maccabeans, it show you somebody that look like an Ethiopian priest who definitely don't look like he gonna be eating no pork. Mech and Mac, right. What are my thoughts on the Sefer? It's biblical. We have one in here somewhere. The Sefer's in here. It's a lot of books. In here we got the Tanakh. We got the Quran. Because again, can I pose a question to y'all? Can I? Some of y'all know and don't answer. So look at this, right? People fight about whether, yes, you can read it. People fight about whether they should read or who, okay, like God's chosen people, blah, 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 right? Okay, so think about this. What is the song? Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you. So let's just, right? Right? There was Ishmael and there was Isaac, right? Ishmael and his mama went down into Egypt, right? But Ishmael is really the father of the Arabs. This is why a lot of Arab people have the name Ishmael. Ish means man. Could that mean the male God is given me? Because El is at the end of that name. And even though Ishmael was not the chosen seed, he was still a blessed seed. Arabs got Bin Laden money. You know who else got Bin Laden money? Eastern Indians, the people of Hindu. They got that bread too. You want to know why? Because those are Abraham's sons. Those are Abraham's sons by Keturah after Sarah had died. Right. Oh, because they worship a god Brahma. Right? They're not supposed to worship Brahma, but he is their forefather, Abraham. That's why they have the Saraswati River and the Gagar River over in India, because that's where Abraham migrated to after Sarah passed away. Ain't that crazy? So when you go and you read the Vedas and you go and you read the Quran, if you read them side by side and don't just think of it like gods and you think of it like forefathers, you'll see something. The stories are the same. Just like if I grab Buddhism out of there, it's Proverbs and Psalms. Just like Esau, he sold his birthright, but he still had plenty of wealth. And you can find this information out in the lost books. Exactly. Exactly. Okay? So people forget, just like we found out in Josephus, who lived 10 to 15 years after, I think 12 years after Jesus did. He was a Jewish historian as to why a lot of your Bible, he's the reason you have it, Josephus, right? He gave the antiquities of the Jews, the wars of the Jews, the history of the Jews. Right. In Josephus, it says that Abraham had kids by Keturah. The Sophacians and all these different people came out of that line, right? But it also says that his granddaughter married Heracles or Heracles or Hercules. Did you know? Y'all did. Why would Hercules be listed in the history of the Jews? Tell me. As Mary and Abraham's great granddaughter, her father's name was Aphor, which is where we get the name Africa or Aphora. Okay? And you can go to Josephus and type in Abraham, type in Josephus, Abraham, and Hercules and see what come up. Yes, he did. Ishmael got the prices and wealth. Isaac got the promise. Exactly. So do you think that Abraham, when he went to go talk to Ishmael, told him something different than he told Isaac? We talked about this already. They had the same father. They just had different mothers. So I would probably need to go look in his other son's book if there's a mystery that I'm supposed to find. Okay? Because the other pieces are there. They just changed the names. Okay? And some people, just like Christians, people want to say Muslims are extremists. Christians are too. They're two birds of the, they're two wings of the same bird. Ishmael started the Arabs, and Isaac, who we know as the Christian folks. But they had the same daddy. Right, the whole Crusaders was done by Christians, exactly, and it would be the equivalent of, what is it, jihad? It's so funny, it's brothers, siblings fighting against each other still, just like Cain and Abel. Ain't that crazy? Sibling rivalry from the beginning is still happening right now. Blood is still being shed over land. Okay? And the Bible said that the fakers, you said, Auntie, blew my mind when I realized this. Yes, still right. But how many of you have raised children and you raised them completely different? Don't everybody got the same base rules? Now you might have to alter the pairing here for like because of each child, but house rules apply to everybody. This is why Christianity, right, and the Muslim faith is so closely knit. But if people could stop saying how they're different and put this in, that's why it's a Quran in here and all kind of a Quran. It's a Chinese Bible. Thank you, y'all. We got the Tanakh. We got the Korean Bible. We got Arabic Bibles. This is from Egypt. This came from Egypt, from Heliopolis, right here. It was hot off the plane, for real, for real. Hand delivered. This is an Ethiopian Bible. We have an Ethiopian Bible right here. We have I always say this wrong, but it's the Hindu Holy Scriptures here, because if Abraham is the daddy of the Eastern Indians, okay, the Hindu people, well then I need to go see if it lines up, and it do. But see, most people see the way that they depict them, and they like, oh no, they worship false gods. So do Christians. You're not supposed to pray to any idols, and Catholic folks and folks go kneel down and there's idols. So what? They got all their arms, and they look like humans. It's a piece of stone that you're not supposed to pray to. And they be wearing magic charms on their necks, kissing them and stuff, doing like this over them and stuff. Oh, that's an amulet. Never mind. Okay. Because Jesus died on the cross, not one angel did, and folks prayed to protection angels and stuff. That's idolatry. But we gonna leave it. You're right. Let me just go and move around before folks start throwing stuff at me. We also have the Septuagint, which is the Greek. We have that as well. I forgot to tell you guys that. So yeah, it's all in here. Mohammedanism is in here. We got it, because you can't say something isn't right if you haven't. You said, oh, you're deep. Oh, the Lord made us that way. Mm-hmm. Crosses, yeah, they amulets. They're charms. What you see? Interesting. If you understand who made bracelets, and if you okay, look, go on and grab Enoch, y'all. Kamiko, let me show you something. I'm gonna just leave that turned. Oh, I'm about to answer that question. So if you have the book of Enoch, in the 7th chapter of Enoch, it tells you, in the 8th chapter of Enoch, first Enoch, when the fallen angels came down, this is eye-opening. Oh, look, see that right there? See this? And they took wives unto themselves. This is the fallen angels, right? And they taught them magic medicine, incantations, the cutting of roots, and taught them about plants. We're going to skip down right here. And Azazel taught the people the art of making swords, knives, shields, and breastplates. And he showed their chosen ones bracelets, decorations, shadowing of the eye with antimony, ornamentation, the beautifying of the eyelids, and all precious stones, all coloring tinctures, and alchemy. Interesting. So Azazel is the one that taught people how to mine rocks and make diadems and bracelets like we see here. This is in the 7th generation from Adam. The bird people. And y'all see how black his skin is, right? Y'all see that? And y'all see the necklace and the bracelets? Interesting. Black is night too. That's a Sudanese body right there, babe. A Nubian body. India and the Arab nations are right beside each other. It all connects you right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna show you a book, another book that tells you the truth. So you just gotta know where to look. You know, you just gotta know where to look. All right. So there's a book called. Now I don't got all these pieces right here. There's a book called Brahman, the Discovery of the God of Abraham. Right? Brahman, Brahman. Y'all don't even know that's why them Brahman bags is so expensive. Moving on. Brahma is Abraham. Y'all knew it. Some of y'all knew it too. All your Brahman bags? Yeah. Brahma is Abraham. So if you want to learn about the migration, yeah. Go look it up. Go look up Brahman, the Discovery of the God of Abraham. It's a whole, I downloaded it as well. But it has the maps when they migrated from the areas. It shows who went where. And that's why they have the Saraswati, Gagar, and Gagar rivers. Saraswati is Sarah. Hagar is Gagar. And then Brahma is Abraham. You said just like Trinis and Indians are the same. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That part. Oh, you wasn't even, was you here earlier when we was talking about Magellan going to all the Caribbeans and what he found there? All the Caribbean islands and Brazil and all of that. It's in Magellan, where he would give the coordinates of everything. 30 longitude by 30 south latitude. Tell you who was there, how big they was, what they was eating, what they did, the wild animals that was there on the islands in 1552 that we don't know nothing about right now, because we looked up some of them in one of the classes. And hello, you said when you said that it hit my spirit, the bags. Oh yeah. It's a lot of pastors that used to come in here and try to get me banned out of here because they would tell me about idolatry and be telling people that I was a Jezebel, when Jezebel is control, manipulation, and murder. And I don't try to control, manipulate, or, well, the last one I might have been guilty of once or twice in my life, but it didn't happen. So we're just going to move on. God is a forgiver. But yeah, they tried to tell me, and I'm like, y'all the ones be trying to tell people what not to read. I'm over here showing them what to do. Y'all tell them what they can read, what they can wear, what they can. Y'all will tell them don't read nothing out of the Bible and then push a TD Jakes book. Leave me alone. And then also, y'all got the church buying you and your wife bags and stuff and cars that have Poseidon's trident on it and Maybachs, and you don't even know where those names come from. And you know, the Medusa head on your belt, she was one of the fallen angels' children, and the symbols on your wife's shoes is fallen angel sigils, and then the names of all of your lovely cars are the children of the fallen angels. So right, idolatry, you got it. Because Medusa was half snake, half something else. Was that Gucci? Uh-huh. No, whatever you miss, honey, you're going to have to go to YouTube. Because if I keep showing stuff, they going to hit me. Whatever you miss, just go to YouTube. But it's called When Giants Were Upon the Earth. You said, yep, we did. And I think it's funny that I was thinking about Magellan yesterday and didn't know why until today. Girl, go looking, Sarah. Go on over there. Hey. So, this is what we do. That's what all this stuff is for. It's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Just like we just found out that Lord of the Rings, but I've been telling y'all I felt like it was for a while. Lord of the Rings is biblical as well. Middle Earth is the Middle East. The Uruks, URUKs, the monsters, the black monsters, right? They come from Uruk, from Iraq. Huh? They come from Iraq, you say? From Huh? No, you telling me that why in the world would you love Lord of the Rings? Now you about to find out why. Look at that. Ain't that's Lord of the Rings right there, ain't it? They was playing in your face. And if you look at the armbands and stuff, it's a reason. And the Chaldeans lived in Ur, right? The Chaldeans lived in Ur. And it says at one time they ruled all over the world too. Look at that. You mean Ireland? The Chaldeans or Chaldeans used to live in Ireland because it used to be Ur land and not Ireland? Interesting. That's interesting. Also, one more. This gonna bust your head to the white meat, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all know how we do it. They only hide it if you ain't looking for it. And it tells you exactly where Atlantis was in between Africa and South America. It was the continent that connected them. Huh? And they tell you all the goodies. Oh. Mm-hmm. And see, look here. You see that seal on there? The Hermetic Brotherhood. Do you see it? 1903. They be lying to y'all. That's how they made the movie Atlantis. And then, if you go watch Atlantis 2, do y'all remember us watching Atlantis 2? Thank you. Y'all remember us watching Atlantis 2? Remember in Atlantis 2, the Grand Canyon caught on fire because they was trying to burn all the stuff. Remember? And then look what's going on right now. Hello. I said, that's another thing we went and looked at that actually happened. What was it, last year? We was watching Atlantis and Atlantis 2 on Disney. But Atlantis 2 takes you to the Grand Canyon. And if you go watch Atlantis 2, baby, it's going to blow your mind. I've watched Stargate too. But you need to go watch Atlantis with your kids, with your eyes open this time. 1 and 2. Pay attention to 2. And then go look at what's happening in the news and stuff about the Grand Canyon. And then just tell me if you see something. Just tell me if you see something. You about to see something, though, if you go watch Atlantis 2. Matter of fact, watch Atlantis 2 before you watch Atlantis 1. Or not. It's up to you. Lord of the Rings, you said just pop my head in randomly, and I'm like, Listen. The kids' movies on Disney, they told y'all they tell the kids the truth about everything. Thank you. Oh, that's cute. They tell the kids the truth about everything. Thank you. If you want to know the truth, go watch Disney. Because they tell you we're the most magical place on the planet. They didn't lie. They didn't lie to you. They told you the absolute truth. Every symbol, every name, all of it. Nephew, They tell it all, baby, don't they? Get your pen and paper out. And you know how in the movies when they show a date or a time or a place, write that down and go do some research. The names they use, all of that. You have to pay attention because that's the easiest way. The easiest way to hide something is in plain sight. The easiest way to hide something is in plain sight. All I gotta do is tell you is myth, and you'll watch it like it's not real. But I could be giving you everything real right in front of your face, and because you don't study and you think it's just a movie or just a cartoon, you don't even pick up a book and go look and see if what they talking about was real. But if you start doing that, you gonna see something. My eyes are open so wide when I watch them movies now. Quita, you be like, no, we read this story. We already know who them people is. Babe, go get that book, 7 from the left down there. Watch, you about to see it. Hello. You said Star Wars, Harry Potter, the list goes on. Girl. Why me and my son, Sarah, just come sit here. Your nephew went to a car shop today and he was showing me some old Star Wars stuff in the car shop he was at. He just found it for the first time today. He's doing all the cars and whatnot. And he showed me the little spaceship thing. I said, no, yeah, that's definitely, yeah, that's Star Wars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could just call me Circa. Circa is fine. Literally, Circa means seek and you shall find. So, yeah. I mean, you can call me whatever you want to. Just, yeah. El Nino, listen. All of it. All of it. Listen. All of it. All the little, listen. What's the movie with the people and they the fish, but he can come on land? And the two little, Luca? Luca told y'all too. All the movies, In and Out, is spiritual possession. Now, is it In and Out? What is it called? With the emotions? It's not called In and Out. What is it called? With the emotions. What's it called? It's not called In and Out. What is it called? Inside Out. Is it Inside Out? In and Out is the burger place where the crazy man was popping people. Inside Out. Okay. Y'all want to see how they played in y'all face? Inside Out, right? Inside Out and the movie Insidious are the exact same movie. One's cute, one is not. Insidious, the first one, you said, you talking about me? Girl, I ain't ate all day. I ain't ate since yesterday about this time. X-Men. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Showing you spiritual possession. Soul is real too. If you look in the movie Soul, in the back, the giant spirits are back there and it says they're grumpy and they gotta just walk back and forth. Remember when he got scared and he was in the outer? That's the spirits of the giants that were trapped here. They can't go to heaven. They're not going to paradise or whatever. Yeah, they show you them too. I don't know. I don't think so. Transformers, yep. Yep, all of them. Girl, I ain't ate nothing. I ain't ate nothing all day today, actually. And it's about to be 7 o'clock. I ain't ate since whenever I got off with y'all yesterday. Because I got up and I had running around to do. So I was only supposed to be on here about an hour. It's been 3. I'm about to go make me something to eat. He said, Dad, I was rewatching Marvel and realized how the villain is actually the good guys in some of them. Of course. Of course. Of course. But you see all the people we've been reading about. They play in our faces so much it ain't even funny no more. He said falling stars of the first Transformer. Right. And they way bigger than the regular people. I don't know how tall the Transformers are in the movie, But if you look at the Transformers compared to a human, don't they look like what Numbers 13 and 33 said about us looking like grasshoppers? I marinated split chicken breast and starting some ground potatoes. Really, Sarah? So you making your bird and Papa's, and you ain't invited a nigga to even smell what it's going. And I just told you I'm hungry. Got it. Right. I just told you I'm hungry. But I was like, fight your. You said like people hated me when I said Thanos was right. Listen, but I was like, fight your mama. Oh. See you later. Love you too, Auntie. You said I don't like how Transformers move. It spooks me out. Hilarious, Sarah. Right. Can't you move a little smoother than that? Why do you gotta move like you possess? Hello. You said, well, you invited me, so I'm bringing it. Hilarious. All right. Thank you, because I'm going to need some. But yeah. So y'all got some books to go look at, movies to go look at. We still looking at Lord of the Rings. It's so crazy how every time we try to get out of Genesis, we get right back to it. Patriarchs. Who would have ever freaking thought? He said, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm cooking then. You could tell me. You could tell me. It might inspire me because I got to go in here and figure out what I'm going to make. Ain't nothing thought out. So we about to do some quick thawing here in a minute. Pour some salt on something and put it in a cold bath. That'll give me about 35 minutes. I'll be able to throw something in there. What you making? Whatever I make, it's going to be a one pot something. That's why I love that cast iron, baby. You can throw everything in there all at one time and it's going to cook perfectly. Whatever it is. It's like my goulash pot. We stay in Genesis and do. Exactly. Always more to learn in the beginning. We can't get it. I mean, we didn't went all the way through Genesis. We didn't read books way past wherever, but we always end up right back in Genesis. Right. You said they're completely different beings who have their own way to move. Yeah, scary, like all of the beings in the scary movies. All stiff and rickety and stuff. Butter beans with smoked turkey next over rice. Yeah, you didn't have to say that. You made some juice, didn't you, too? You made some juice. Like some raspberry something out your garden or some lemonade. You done made some kind of fresca something, ain't you? Just to wash all that goodness down, didn't you? I bet you did. I can feel it in my bones. You made some peach tea or something. I don't know. I just feel that whole vibe right now. That you've made something that will wash that down perfectly. Listen. He said I'm eating out shrimp and steak, rice, ooh, and cheese. You said added grilled bell peppers and onions. You said laugh out loud. I did. I know you did. I can tell we family. I already know whatever it is gonna be fruitful and refreshing to wash that down, baby. That's you about to go to sleep. That's what y'all about to do. Y'all about to go to sleep. Did you make some cornbread? A Mexican restaurant. Ooh. He said I know the government is probably scared of you because you're totally woke. Well, why would you type that, Sherman? You didn't see that they just killed the white boy because he was doing the same thing I've been doing for 4.5 years. Showing all them old books and Bibles and telling people everything I've been saying for the last 4.5 years. They killed that boy. And then they cut Sauce 90 breaks. The white dude that was with the guy that was making plastiline. What's his name? They killed that boy. They said he died of a heart attack all of a sudden. Right. Yeah. If y'all know the black boy Julian, and there was the white guy that was doing Joe Felt. That's his name. Yeah, he just right. Okay. Joe Felts. I didn't make cornbread this time, but I usually do. This is one meal for today. Oh, okay. All right. Will. So don't be saying that the government. We don't even type those words over here. As a matter of fact, we just say stuff without saying it. That's something that you got to learn over here. We don't bring them people to us. We just mind our business. Yeah, they said he had a heart condition. Right. We just studied about certain things that could be. Didn't we just study about this? About how certain things could be made to look like a heart attack, and we was looking at certain medicines and different things that are they're not detectable in the flesh and all of that. Remember? Didn't we do a class on that in the last year or so? It's been recently. Toxins, and we was looking up certain things that can make stuff look like a. Never mind. Maybe we didn't. Maybe that was me by myself. You said I'm about to make me a fried spam sandwich. Oh, that sounds real good with some mayonnaise and a little bit of pepper. You don't even need no salt because it's salty, but you gotta burn it on the edges. You like yours thin or thick? I like mine about this thick. I don't want it too thick. I like a whole bunch of sheets of spam. You don't even need no cheese, but if you want to just turn it all the way up, put you some cheese on it. Just one square, but you gotta have enough mayonnaise. Can't be dry bread with that. You gotta burn the edges. I got some spam too. Yeah, but I don't think I got no bread. I ain't bought none. Never mind. I was about to say, yep, but I ain't got no bread and I don't feel like making none. You said, yeah, he said healthy. He said he healthy and his mental was healthy. He not crazy. And if anything happens to me, Auntie, you don't remember me saying that to y'all? Who remember me starting to say that at the end of 22 when the people kept coming in my house? Every time I left to go out of town, within hours, y'all all of a sudden in my crib, and I've been home 4 months and ain't nobody knocked on this door to do no spray or nothing. Oh, okay. You remember? Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I told y'all if anything happened to me, I'm not gonna hurt myself. All of them same things. I told y'all. And I started telling y'all, you can lose your life for stuff you say over here. So don't just type anything in my life because they're not gonna come to your house. They gonna come to mine, and then influencers start dying. Oh, okay, okay. For everybody that was telling me I was doing too much, evidently not. You said I've been in my garden all day picking and pruning and dehydrating. I wish y'all could smell the basil I'm grinding up. Ooh, I know it smells good. You been gone that long? I don't know how long you been gone, but yeah. We've been at this 4.5 years. February will be 5 years that WOIU has been a thing. At first, it was WOU. We outside university, and then very quickly we had to change to WOIU. We outside international university, and we've been WOIU since the end of 22. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? What is the nature of locks? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm so happy y'all take notes too. The fact that Queen was able to go back right to the beginning and say April 12th, 2022, these are the names, makes me proud as a teacher. Yes and no. Locks are a spiritual journey. That's personal preference. You said, but this past 2 years I haven't been on TikTok. 3 years? Oh, okay. Who been blocked? You was blocked? A spam sandwich. Mm-hmm. Are you saying you were? I blocked a whole bunch of people, especially in the beginning. But I haven't. I haven't. We don't be over here. Oh. Oh, okay. You said because I remember my first notebook we had when I wrote in there. It makes me proud still, sister. You said, "Oh, I got a lot to pick in minds too. I get these kids to help." Oh, that's my favorite type tea of y'all spam sandwich. What kind you got right? I done missed all kind of stuff over here. So this is how I find that you're live after 196 minutes, Nisi Poo, and I'm about to go. I'm about to go eat, and then I'll be back. Maybe later. Sorry. You know they playing. I'm surprised they let us be on this long. I'll try again for sure. But when you get time, can you go look up some for me? Hmm. You see, I want to say the last time I seen yours is when you were showing us different foods to store away. Oh, I've been doing that. I've been doing that since the beginning. Yeah, but of course you can't show nothing over here unless you selling it. But them videos, they still on YouTube. Survival and Survival 2.0. It was a very long time ago. I mean, we still was doing it. I still was showing stuff up until January of last year. You said lies, lies. You're going to bed after. No, I'm not. I don't want to go to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm not. Because I got stuff I got to do that I haven't done, like laundry. I need to. Sarah said, you're going to bed. I'm not going to lay down. Because last night, I couldn't stay, like, my sleep was off. So I kept waking up. I don't know what was going on last night. It was weird. You had to use your generator last week. You said, I will. Research is what we do. Okay. Can you look up the word patriarch? While we on here, because some people already did it, but look up Patri, Patri, and then Arcus, Archas, real quick. I just want to see your reaction, and then we can go. Because I know you. Come on, tell me what Patri is. The suffix or prefix Patri, circa in an hour and a half, will be singing a different tune. But okay, I'm not gonna eat nothing heavy though, cause I actually enjoyed this class and I wanted to get back on, but I just been having stuff to do. Have I tried hydroponics to grow my food? Yeah, I done tried all kinds of stuff. But if my kids need me to leave for 2 weeks, I was growing. I've had a full garden before, but it's different now because I had a full garden with kids that lived in the house with me and not grandkids and stuff that live miles and miles away where I got to be gone for weeks at a time and stuff. So ain't nobody to water my plants. That's how all my stuff keep dying. You said we are still storing necessary supplies for survival. That makes me excited. Ain't that crazy how people was calling me crazy in the beginning and now look. I would think you would need a water straw or a way to filter water, some canned food because everything's bad now, dehydrated meats and things. People said that wasn't going to be important, and now you don't even know what to eat. Patri is father, Arcus is rulers or principalities. What does that say to you, niece? Having this garden has been a full spiritual experience. He is talking through planting, sowing and reaping, sister. Father of principalities or father of rulers. Or my father is a principality or a ruler or archon. Fathers of the fallen. Girl! And who were the rulers? This is why I just tell everybody I need y'all to go look through Kings. And the kings that the Hebrews were going against, and even some of them, I need you to find out who their parents was. It's important. We already knew the Zamzumans, and we listed, I don't know if you was here, but April 12th of 2022, if you took notes, Queen found it for us. We listed all of the races of giants, all the ites, right? The Zadokites and the whoever, all of these people we listed, the Emin and all of them are the children of the angels. And a lot of those people are the people that were going against the Hebrews before they was even Hebrews. Listen, so yeah, fathers of the fallen. Or you said we sure did. I think that notebook of mine went missing, but I remember the class. We researched so many of them. Well, they listed them in here. I don't know if y'all get to see the comments when we get off. Ain't that crazy how our good information just be coming and missing and stuff? Books and stuff. That's why I don't let nobody in here that I know of. Now, they be in here when I ain't in here, but... Or fallen father. Exact. Oh, your eyes. I already know where you about to go. So we looked up like Arkansas, right? Arcus. Several things. You'll see it in the rewatch. And I'm happy I got the exact reaction I wanted to get out of you. Baby, I was sitting there patriarchs. I said, wait a minute, patriarchs. Arcs. And then we have the archons. We have the homostasis of the archons. Think about, girl, Arcadia. Hello. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Ohio class. Yeah, we brought them up because we figured, how did the Amorites and the Hittites, the Amorites was in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and wherever else, and then we found out that the Hittite, or however you say it, the Hittites ended up in Haiti. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Hmm. I remember when I posted that, I think I have a screenshot of it in 22, and folks got on my live, I mean, on my, under my post, and talked real good and crazy to me. I said, that's just because you don't know. And you think that the only way it's been spelled now or whatever is right. You gotta, this is ciphers, honey. You gotta move the letters around. You will see something. Just like Chus, if you see Chus in the Bible, Chus, it's Cush. But they playing with son of Chus, Chus is son of Cush, Cush. They play like that. You said so. In other words, I need to run this class back. Got it, girl. Listen, that reminds me of a Transformer movie called Rise of the Fallen. Rise of the Fallen. Interesting. Their fathers are the one that talked them into building the tower to get back to heaven to war against Christ. Ain't that what happened in y'all Titan video? They was going to fight the gods because they was mad because of how they treated the kids, or they fathers, that they couldn't be around them. Ain't that what happened in Enoch? The fathers was jailed to where they couldn't see their kids, and then God turned the kids against each other. Michael is the one, Suriel and somebody else, Raphael, I think, is the ones that went down and started the giants to fighting against each other. Remember? Remember? Then you remember I talked about one of the ish saying they kept the orcs and arcs away. You did. Yeah, you're gonna have to put a little bit more there. One of the men talked about they kept the orcs and arcs away. Okay, but go into detail, T, a little bit more. I remember you keep posting that for the last couple of days. Right? Mm-hmm. They said we would need to worship them. Okay. Okay. Well, hi. So again, I always look deeper than what I'm. We can do 10 more minutes. It's 17, 7:20. Yep, I probably will. Sarah might know me better than I know myself. We're gonna see. If I don't feel like I'm gonna pass out, I'll get back on here. You said they trying to say they keeping God's what away? Sons away. Oh, got it. Okay. So, um, go watch some kid movies and get a pen and paper when you do. Any place, anything they name, the names that they use in the movies, because Disney has all the manuscripts. They have access to the Catholic Church and to the vaults down in there. They can go in there and get whatever they want. They also have access to the Smithsonian. So, all of these places are owned by the same people. They're all owned by the same people. Interesting. The very people that changed the color of everything, and they got all the continents fighting against each other right now. And they're tearing down the place where Jesus was born, leveling it to the ground. And they also say that Jesus is boiling in his own excrement. But you got pastors standing with them, but they think Jesus is in hell in his own poop. I don't know if you know that Jesus was born in Palestine. Never mind, let me go. I'm going to go on and go right now. Ain't that crazy? Now, why in the world would you want to level the place with the Creator's Son was born? You might be the devil. You just might be the devil. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Names are angels. You said I've been like looking into a lot of this independently, and deeper you dig, the more you see. This you said this on a worldwide scale. These empires encompass the world. Hence why the Romans dealt with American Indians. Exactly. Exactly. When the Bible say and they ruled all over the whole world, it was the remember in our big green book it shows all of the what you call them? Girl. The empires and the what they call them? Dynasties. All the dynasties and stuff is in there. Remember? They show you when China started, when Javon started, I think Japan and all of that. It go all the way into the whole everything. Biblical history, if you go back and you get the right one, you will see something. You will see when the Phoenician letters got over to Europe by Cadmus, whose sister is Europa. Hello. They came from Phoenicia and took the 15 letters to Greece. That's how the Roman and all of the written languages up, Celtic and all of that, that's how that came about. They don't want to tell you, but if you look in the right place, you'll find it. So, anyway, yeah, I am going to go before I be and pass that on y'all. I love y'all. You said I'm about to reread and watch my favorite movies. Because, again, the easiest way to hide the truth is in plain sight. And I believe this is why God is going to say, there's no excuse. Well, God, I didn't read the Bible. But you did watch all the mythological movies, and it was scripture. Good enough for me. You were loyal to it. You know the stories. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. So, I love y'all. I'm about to go.